Welcome everyone out there in Twitch land. I'm Carlos Lysing. I'd like to introduce the first episode of the caslHawk Chronicles, episode 1, the Sirens of Greyhawk. Most of you out there have read a little bit about what the game will be about, but in case you're just tuning in for the first time, let me lay about a little bit of the history out for you. We're going to be playing in the world of Greyhawk tonight, as I usually do. This is a Castle Entertainment production in which I'm going to be taking members of good friends of mine from across the world of gaming and art, and we're going to be playing with them and my various people that support my patron to in different campaigns. They're going to just be one-shot, short campaigns, self-contained episodes. Down below, as you can see from me, we're going to be seeing Sarah Dallinger playing tonight, Amanda Makepeace, and Rachel Quinlan. And I'm going to give you each of these amazing ladies a chance to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they're working on, because all of them have fantastic projects. They're all amazing artists. Those of you who follow us on Facebook know I promote a lot of their work because they're awesome. They're just awesome people and awesome artists. So, Sarah, why don't we begin with you over here? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're working on right now?
Okay, awesome. Okay, so hey guys, I'm Sarah Dollinger. You might know me as the artist from the Atlas Animalia from Metalweave Games. That was kind of the first book I illustrated. I also made the book Seen and Unseen, and my current project is called Zero Dragon Murder Mouth. Yeah, there's the Atlas. So my new project is called Zero Dragon Murder Mouth, and it is a development book that shows how you concept an alien monster from like a little 2D thumbnail all the way to a ZBrush 3D rendered sculpt. And if you'd like to come and watch me make art live, I stream on Twitch too quite frequently, and it's just my name, art, so Sarah Dollinger Art. Or actually, no, it's just, / Sarah Dollinger at Twitch. And yeah, that's how you can come and watch me make art.
A lot of you may know her out here in Twitch land for her amazing greyhound dog, Dodger, who is about the cutest thing you'll ever see in your life. If for no other reason, you guys owe it to yourselves to go visit her Facebook page or visit her Twitch stream just to hang out with Dodger. Amanda, why don't you go next?
Okay, all right. Hello, I'm Amanda Makepeace. I'm a fantasy and sci-fi illustrator. You might also know me from the Bird Whisperer project. Basically, it's a project that promotes creativity of all ages, all skills, and a love of birds. Right now,
especially ravens.
Yes. On the illustration side, right now, I think I can tell everybody I'm working on the next long list anthology cover. That's a book that comes out every year that basically has most stories that were nominated for the Hugo Awards. So it's the pieces that didn't win, but they got the most nominations. It's the long list. And so that's basically on my drawing board right now. And I'm preparing for Dragon Con, which is in 10 days.
Amanda, in her own right, is an award-winning artist. Amanda, why don't you go ahead and go ahead, be self-promotional. Don't be modest.
Well, let me be honest. I think some of that is still sinking in. Yes, I did win a Chesley Award this year. For best paperback or ebook cover.
Okay.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Amanda is also working on projects for Castle Entertainment that's top secret right now. So you guys will get a chance to see her in our actual products too. And I would be remiss, I kind of went past Sarah on that. You're also Atlas Animalia, if I remember right. Was that not nominated for an Emmy?
Yeah, it was nominated for an Emmy for Best Interior Art.
Yes, it was. And it was a deserving candidate. Rachel, why don't you go ahead and tell us about yourself and what you're working on?
Hi, fantasy artist and illustrator. I recently finished some paintings for Old School Essentials, put out by Necrotic Gnome. I make a lot of personal work. I run the Changeling Artist Collective, which we have an auction going right now on Facebook. So if you search for Changeling Artists Collective, you should be able to come across our group. That's about it. Right now.
Oh, no, it's not about it, Rachel. Come on, be more self-promotional than that. A lot of you guys who have seen me at different conventions have seen my bag of holding that I have over here. It is totally decked out with various Rachel Quinlan pins. You can see over here that owl bear and that rust monster that I have over there. I highly recommend you guys visit her website because they are amazing, amazing pins. And
Go to my Etsy shop instead.
okay, go to her Etsy.
That's it should be under shop / Rachel Quinlan art. So all of my D&D products are listed there.
She does stickers.
Carlos as like a hype man for our tables at
Yes.
cons. Like, you remember more of what we do than what we do.
I consider myself the Flavor Flav of the art world.
Yeah.
Rachel, also, at the end of this, when we go to Castle Entertainment's Facebook page, I'm going to go ahead and put up some links for everybody so they can
great.
visit your different products
That's it.
and your different projects. A lot of you may know that are Patreon supporters that August is the month, the theme of the month for my patron is the Badass Women of Greyhawk. Everything that you guys are going to get as rewards, which are shipping today, are the module is all about a woman, the magic item, the spell, the monster, all about women. Today I wanted to celebrate that by having 3 of the badass women that I know from the art world. These guys are all wonderful, and you guys are doing yourself a disservice if you don't go and check out their work, because they're awesome and they are really deserving of your support. So, with that said, are you guys ready to game tonight?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Outstanding. I can't wait. All right. Tonight we're playing, as I said, episode 1, which is called the Sirens of Greyhawk. All 3 of our players tonight, Sarah is playing the character Ruse, Amanda is playing Ghost, and Rachel is playing Aldrin. They are a band. They are all bards. Sarah is a towering, muscle-bound half-orc who plays the flute. Amanda is plays the lyre, and she's a willowy, half-elven, mysterious character. And Rachel is the brooding gothic Aldrin who plays the bagpipe from hell known as the Demon Bellows. All of you are, despite the fact that you're so you're so diverse and eclectic, it's part of the reason why you've been so successful. You're known from coast to coast across the continent of Greyhawk as being probably the most in-demand group of performers there are. Wherever you go, it adds legitimacy to a venue. It adds, it's always an event, and everybody that has anything to do with a theater anywhere in the larger cities of Greyhawk, they want you as a part of their production. Recently, your last tour was ending up in a city called Neol Dra, which is in the Kingdom of Keoland. It's a southerly, one of the oldest kingdoms in the world of Greyhawk. And you're very excited to be done with your tour. You're just coming off the road. You're all very weary. However, you have a manager. Your manager is a gnome by the name of Lester Finkelberry. Lester is quite a character. He's very ostentatiously dressed all the time. He's probably a bit too pretentious for his own good, but he knows he's forgotten more in his long life about the world of performance, the world of thanks for joining, Will. We really appreciate it, buddy. He just knows more about getting you guys booked and advancing your careers than anybody probably on the continent. So you put up with his foibles a little bit because he's so good at what he does. Well, Lester has told you that in the free city of Greyhawk, which is otherwise known as the Gem of the Flanness, it is the biggest city there is. It's the most cosmopolitan. It is the most wealthy and influential city probably in the world. There is a small group of people that want your group, the Sirens of Greyhawk, to play. It's going to open up this brand new Orpheum that is in the Garden Quarter of the Free City of Greyhawk. It's built right beneath the walls of the Grand Citadel of the City of Greyhawk. So you'll have this backdrop of this amazing walled castle behind you. There's going to be throngs of thousands waiting for you, Lester's told you. And there's a lot of money in it for you. 10,000 gold orbs for each one of you just to play the show. Lester has worked very diligently to get promo done for it. He's done a lot of, he's pounded the pavement, the Free City of Greyhawk. He's got a lot of connections there that have got posters up everywhere. With that being said, it was very hard to turn down just that one last show. So after leaving the city of Neil Dra, it was quite a long expedition to the Free City of Greyhawk. But Lester has assured you that when you arrive at the Free City of Greyhawk's Garden Quarter, that you'll be put up in the Golden Phoenix Inn in the Garden Quarter, which is well known as the most posh establishment in the Free City. And true to his word, as your group got to the Free City through the gates, the whole town, the whole city is abuzz with the event that's about to happen. You could almost feel the excitement in the streets. When you would walk by, people would kind of whisper under their breath, "Is that so-and-so?" Yeah. When you got to the Golden Phoenix Inn, you were waited on hand and foot. Butlers and servants took care of you. You were feted with the finest food humanly possible. Stuffed sturge with a nice wine sauce on it, and wonderful mead. So you were well taken care of. That was the first night that you were in the City of Greyhawk. Now we're going to begin our game actually with all of you at your different rooms in the Free City of Greyhawk. You have anything you guys want to do, but Lester Finkelberry has told you all that it is probably in your best interest to show up at the venue just to check it out before too long, just get a sound check in maybe, things like that. So I leave the game in your hands, in your capable hands at this point, ladies. What would you like to do?
So just to clarify, are we in all separate rooms?
You're all in separate suites.
Okay.
Lester was mortified at the thought that you would all be in the same suite. Oh, no. That's not good enough for my Sirens. He made a big stink at the front desk. I want individual suites. Do you know who you're talking to? You're talking to the Sirens of Greyhawk. This isn't some normal rabble. All right? You take care of these people. So you were all got normal, your own suites. And they were very posh. It's probably the nicest accommodations I've ever stayed in. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go down the hall and knock on Aldrin's door.
Okay.
And
you walk out, Ghost, over to Aldrin's door. And outside his door, there are 3 young women sitting on the floor. They're all dressed in black with veils on. And they all look kind of bored. They've got parasols there. They're all wearing lace. They look up at you. They start whispering back and forth. That's Ghost. That's Ghost. They all look at you kind of wide-eyed as you walk by. Knock on the door.
Aldrin goes to the door.
Okay. Aldrin, you open the door. And you see these...
I crack it open.
Okay, you crack it open. Good, because you've been able to smell these ladies' perfume all night long. They've been there the entire night long, camped out in front of your door. Ghost is standing outside. Kind of, you see her pale blue eye looking back at you.
And I'm kind of rolling my eyes because this is just, it's pathetic. These people.
Aldrin just peeks out the door through the crack and just asks Ghost, "Is it time?"
It is. Let's go get Ruse.
All right.
Aldrin, are you guys all going to have your instruments and your belongings with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Aldrin, you go ahead and you get your the last bits that you need. You have your demon bellows in its case.
Yes.
As you guys walk out the door of your room, these women jump up to their feet. Oh, Aldrin, can you sign this? Can you? Everybody's got a piece of parchment in your face. All these three girls. Oh, you're my favorite member of the Sirens. You're so awesome. Could you please sign this?
He just reaches back and like takes the scribe and just scrawls like an A.
You see the girl almost start weeping openly as you're scrawling it. One of the other women is looking down. I thought I had my quill. I thought I had my quill. She's looking around at herself. Ghost, you look kind of at your shoulder. Birch is sitting there playing with a small quill in his hand.
Yeah. I'm not surprised, and I smirk because it's just glorious.
Aldrin gets this response a lot, Ghost. He actually gets a lot of this kind of people that are trash, but this isn't half as bad as what you usually see when it comes time for Ruse. Ruse has an entire group of groupies that follow her around. They call themselves Ruse's Rowdies, okay? They're human, and they all have prosthetic mohawks, and a lot of them wear even like prosthetic pig nose snouts so they can look orcish. And they act like barbarians with their shirts off, and they usually have messages written on their chests for her in orcish. And Ruse has told you that the orcish doesn't even make sense most of the time. But this is what they are. Aldrin, one of the women says, looks at you, and she shows you. She pulls up her arm. Could you write here? I'd like to have this tattooed on me.
He just groans and just takes the quill and scrawls.
Okay, you scrawl it over her.
And he just kind of gestures like, go on. Go on.
Okay, so this process goes on for a short bit of time, and soon enough you're finally able to rid yourself of the groupies, and you end up over at Ruse's door. Ruse's door, fortunately, there's two very strong men standing outside of it. They look like, and Lester Finkelberry is there with them. They look like mercenaries. He looks at you, goes, "How was the groupie scene this morning?"
As it always is.
He just kind of laughs. He says, "Do you see this?" He goes, "Do you know what these are for?" "These are for the 15 men I saw outside of her door this morning that I had to throw out forcibly." "Do you know how hard it is to hire a mercenary in the free city of Greyhawk?" "Well, actually, it's really easy, but they're not cheap."
Yeah, but that's your job, Lester. That's what we pay you for.
She just kind of sighs. She looks, "I see you're looking as cheerful as ever this morning, Aldrin."
He just sighs.
He just kind of smiles.
Don't talk to me, Lester.
Well, Rose is inside. I think she's just getting her mohawk coiffed.
So, as soon as I hear people outside the door,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna like throw it open myself.
You guys are in the middle of talking. The door throws open, smashes one of the mercenaries right in the face. The guy slumps to the ground, unconscious. Lester just kind of sighs. She goes,
Soundcheck.
"That's the third time this morning."
I'm gonna fist bump the next guy that I see. Look to see.
You
where
fist
all my
bump him,
groupies are.
and he just kind of grabs his hand and winces.
I'm gonna look to see where all the groupies were. Give Lester like a scathing look, and be like, "Yeah, let's do it."
They were going to throw us out. No one could get up and down the hallway.
All right. I guess that's fair.
I'll lead you to the venue. He goes, you two, you won. He looks over at the mercenary that's conscious. He says, Go downstairs and we'll square up later. He just kind of nods. Have a good show.
Like, if I notice the guy that fell down, I'll, like, go over and kind of, like, pick him up and be like, oh, sorry, bro. Sorry, man. I didn't do that. Sorry.
He looks dazed as you help him up. Thanks.
Yeah, see you at the show.
And Ghost takes the quill from Birch and hands it to Alderon. Alderon, do you want to sign something for him? Or is...
Aldrin just takes it and puts it behind his ear. Just
He looks
like,
over, says,
No.
could you sign it to Mavis?
Fine.
Sign it out, the A on there. Thank you. Eventually you head downstairs, the whole group of you, and quite a motley crew you are. This is the scene everyone sees. This 3-foot-tall gnome wearing this finery that's fit for a duke or a prince, walking down the hall almost like a peacock strutting his way down the hall, and following him, the willowy, white-haired ghost, who's almost like an ethereal creature. You would be surprised if she makes even a sound as she breathes. Walking down, if she were to be able to walk through walls, you wouldn't be surprised. With her little small twig-like animal companion or plant companion on her shoulder, Birch, Aldrin is kind of in the shadows walking down the hallway with his swooped goth mullet that he has coming down his face and his dark leather armor, carrying his Demon Bellows bag. And behind it is the towering shadow of Ruse back there with her massive mohawk. She's almost 7 foot tall, just nothing but rippling muscle, and her flute in her hand. Your group ends up going downstairs and out through the front of the building. There's a whole throng that's waiting out there for you. One side, one side, one side. Leave them be, leave them be. They've got Soundcheck. You want a show tonight? You got to leave them be. Crowd kind of parts. He looks over up at you three. You got to know how to deal with these people. Starts leading you through the streets of the Free City of Greyhawk. The Free City of Greyhawk is mostly 2-story buildings. In modern terms, you would say that they would look like Tudors. You can see the exposed timbers there. They're mostly white plaster, dark wood. It's very cosmopolitan. There's it's probably just a hair away from taking the next step into steampunk. There's a lot of foot traffic there, and your group never fails to catch eyes as you walk down the way. Not only because of your unusual look, but because everybody knows who you are. You walk down the street, and everywhere you see signs plastered everywhere. He looks up at you, he goes, "You'd be surprised how much you can get done when you go to the beggar's quarter with 15 gold." Your group heads down the way, and soon enough you're in this Grand Causeway. The Grand Causeway of the Free City of Greyhawk leads up to its Grand Citadel. Now, to give you an idea of what we're talking about, the whole city is this massive metropolis that's bound in great stone walls. But inside of it is this citadel. Okay, it's a big castle. You understand that the founder of the city actually built it, and it's kind of the city is developed from there, from that Grand Citadel. It's got its own walls and towers. You understand that there's that's where the Lord Mayor lives. A fortune and wealth and magic is in there. But at the foot of the Grand Citadel's walls, probably about 100 feet away from it, because they won't let anybody get any closer, build structures any closer to that, there's this massive stage, wooden stage that's built. It's about 200 feet wide. It's elevated about 20 feet from the ground. There's curtains in front of it. It's got a canopy to it. It's really elaborate. There's a big sign across the top of it that says, "The Free City of Greyhawk is proud to bring you the Sirens of Greyhawk." Underneath this vista looking down, there's tents established all over. It looks like a city of tents. People have camped out for a long time to see the show. You can see banners up there. This big flag there that says Ruse's Rowdies on it. a whole group of goths over there next to it. You think you see kind of a druidical circle that they're trying to build in the middle. Ghost, yeah, they do that for you.
I figured.
So yeah, they it's one of those things. Ruse, your the sign that says Ruse's Rowdies is written in Orcish, and it actually says Rusty's Roadies.
Close enough.
Your group ends up going up to the stage, and Lester says, "Gonna have to do a little bit of business here. I want to introduce you to the event manager and to your special effects coordinator tonight. Just follow me." He walks up the stairs, leads you backstage. Behind the curtain is a big performance area, normal stage. It is wide open. There's nothing there except a huge backdrop that says the Sirens of Greyhawk behind it. And there's a painting of an ocean back there with the siren sitting on the rocks getting ready to sing. Behind that curtain, that backdrop, is the backstage area. And there's two people behind there. There's they're both human. One of them is wearing long gray robes, it's a female, and the other is a man. Looks kind of professional. He's got robes on, but it looks to you almost like he's got armor on underneath it. Lester comes up and he waves. He goes, Granabi, they're here. Oh, thankfully. He comes up over to you. Granabi Tervis. I'm the event manager tonight. I have the pleasure of speaking to the Sirens of Greyhawk. I'm honored. He looks at
I'll go over and give him a really big handshake and be like, "Nice to be here."
It looks like Aldrin goes, you can almost see his toes curl from the pain of the handshake that Ruse gives him. He tries his best not to betray it, but you can tell it was like wince. The pleasure's all mine, I assure you.
And I'll give him a slap on the back and be like, "See you tonight."
You almost see spittle come forth.
So though, as I'm shaking hands with him, it's clear that I'm distracted though, because we're in this city. I don't know this stage. I don't know this person, and I'm kind of looking around just to make sure everything is
behind you. You can see a couple things that catch your eye. Actually, you are being an elf. You're going to roll a d6 right now, which I'll take care of for you.
Okay.
And you notice right away that there's a lack of props back here. An astounding lack of props. It's almost empty back here. There's a trap door on the floor right next to where the woman is standing. And you can see as it bends around the corner, which would be right behind the backdrop. You're right now stage right in the with regard to the performance area. Again, you don't see anything as you're kind of crane your vision before it leaves around the corner. The woman comes up to Aldrin and she smiles. She kind of nods. She goes, "Bellatrix alla Luna. You can call me Trixie. I've heard a lot about you."
Oh, what have you heard?
"I heard that you put on the best show in the Flanness." She smiles. "And tonight," she goes, "I'm going to make sure it comes off without a hitch. I'm in charge of special effects tonight. I'm an illusion."
Kind of empty back here, don't you think?
"Oh, we don't need anything like that." She smiles. She goes, "I'm an illusionist by trade. Everything that you're going to have for props is going to be created strictly by me tonight. I'm going to be the one who's going to amplify your sound. I'm going to make sure there's no distortion. I'm going to put on the light show. Everything is going to be wonderful. I promise." Granabi says, if you were worried about how the show might come off tonight, I want to assure you, I'm not only the event manager, but I'm the venue owner. I was the one who had this built. You're the first act that's ever going to play here. I had you come on specifically because, well, you're probably the hottest band in the Flanness. Everyone knows about you. You bring a lot of cachet to wherever you come, and I want this Orpheum to be known as a place where nothing but the best Now, we're in the free city of Greyhawk. We're right in the shadow of the Grand Citadel. I want you to put on a show that these people will never forget. He smiles. So I'm going to make sure I hired Trixie here to make sure that your whole show comes off without a hitch. She comes extremely well recommended.
Who recommended her?
Oh, he thinks about it for a second. He goes, "Oh, it was the mercenary guild. Mercenary guild. They have the College of Magic has and City of Greyhawk has a particular relationship with them. So I can assure you that there should be no issues whatsoever.
Interesting. Okay.
The stage is yours. Feel free to do your sound check or whatever you need to do. Lester gave me a writer for you. I've made sure that you've got everything that you've needed at the Golden Phoenix. After you're done with your sound check, you can go back there, and anything you need additionally, please just come talk to me. I'll be milling around the crowd right now, pressing the flesh, so to speak, and making sure that everyone knows what kind of establishment that we actually we have here. So feel free to do as you will. The stage is yours, and I'm at your disposal. He smiles.
Okay.
So he leaves. Lester looks over at you. He goes, "I told you this was a classy joint."
Yeah, Ghost is just rolling her eyes, and she starts walking around, just, kind of side-eyeing the trap door.
Okay, you kind of side-eye the trap door. Trixie looks over at you. She goes, "Oh," she goes, "This is where we intend on storing props when the place is actually up and running." She goes, "There's one in the middle of the stage, too, for magic acts so people can come in and out quickly. You'll also find one directly to the back and the one to the other wing."
Does Aldrin sense anything amiss?
Make me, please, a D8, if you would.
8.
Yeah. Actually, you kind of do. Something about this whole thing, it kind of sets you on edge a little bit, more than just the fact that these guys you don't know who they are at all. I mean, Lester speaks well of them, and he's never failed you yet, but there's always a first time, and something about these guys just seems off to you. Make me one more D8, please.
5.
Okay. Yeah, it just, maybe it's because you're just a naturally suspicious elf. Trixie just seems really smug to you. And even for you. I mean, you gotta remember, Aldrin, Ghost, and Ruse, Aldrin is one of those kind of people who never stops judging everyone around them, even when she's being completely silent. It's just the judging with the eyes kind of thing. But actually, that has worked in your favor a lot of times because, frankly, Aldrin's pretty perceptive about stuff like that. So, yeah. Aldrin, you have anything you want to act on that knowledge?
I'm just gonna kind of like go to the darkest part of the stage and kind of like look around the surroundings a bit. And
okay, Ruse, what are you going to do at this point in time?
So I'm gonna walk over to the trap door, the one that's closest to me. I'm gonna kind of stamp my foot on it a little bit.
You stamp your foot on it
just a little bit. Now, while I'm gonna be making eye contact with my 2 band members, be like, should I? I've always wanted to see what's part of the makeup of a stage. What do you guys think? Should we check this out?
Trixie looks over at you. As you stomp your foot, you hear something knock back a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't say anything.
She looks at you. She goes.
I just nod my head.
She says, "Stage hands." Shrugs her shoulders.
Yeah, and I'm just nodding my head to Ruse, like, yeah, we need to check.
Oh, stage hands! I gotta meet them. I'm opening the door.
You open up the door. You look down there, and there's 4 halflings that look up at you, and they all of them at the same time look like they want to crap their pants when they see you. They all Well, you got to remember, there's a 7-foot tall half orc with a mohawk and bulging muscles staring down at them. They look up at you. Trixie looks down. She's okay. She's one of the band members. Oh, okay. Hi. She just kind of waves.
And I'll be like, hey, fellas, great to meet you. And I'll give them all little fist bumps.
Give them all a little fist bump. Your fist is as big as any of their heads, basically. Give them all little fist bumps. They look up at you. They look like they're not sure exactly how to take you at all. Is there anything you guys need yet, Trixie? No? Everything seems to be fine. They just want to see what's down there. If you want to... You look down there, Ruse. There's a ladder that leads down to the second level.
Cool.
You want to check it out? Go ahead.
And I'll kind of like look at my other 2 band members for some, wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I see a slight incline of the head, I'll be going down.
Aldrin, as you are doing this, Aldrin was in the kind of the dark corner of the stage, and Aldrin's kind of looking around. One thing you do notice, Aldrin, is above you, the way that the canopy is built. The roof is there, but there's scaffolding just underneath it to like support structures there. It would be very easy for somebody to walk. In fact, there's a couple planks there that look like they're designed for people to walk back and forth up there. There's nobody up there right now that you can see, even with your super sharp sight. But it could be very easy for somebody to use props or a stage show thing up there, but it could be very easily be a sniper's nest too. Ghost and Ruse, in the meantime, you're in the middle of interacting. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't say much, I'm just like, yes, let's go down.
Okay. Cool. Who's going first?
Like, yeah, if I get like a twitchy eyebrow or something like that, I'll be like, oh, boys, let me see what's down here.
Okay. You go down there. You start going down there. Ghost, as you do that, you notice that you're aware of the fact suddenly that your shoulder is bare. You kind of look over, and you see Birch walking up Trixie's robes from the back.
Dear. Oh, dear.
Now, one thing I should mention about your relationship with Birch, and for those of you who have not had a chance to look at your Patreon rewards and see the character sheets yet, Birch is an animated plant. Ghost has this personal foible where she just likes to give life randomly to plants just as they strike her fancy. She's very mercurial, very... She's very, even though Aldrin is an elf and Ghost is only a half-elf, she's very quintessentially elvish. And Birch is one of those creatures that has most taken life that she's come across. But it's very attached to her. It doesn't ever want to be away from her, really. And even though it can't communicate directly with you, it seems to know what you want a lot.
Yeah, I'm sensing that Birch knows that I'm suspicious. Ruse is suspicious of this Trixie person.
Right.
So I'm keeping an eye on him, obviously, because I want him to be safe, because I'm kind of attached to Birch as well.
Right. Birch disappears when it's in her hood. Her hood is down. It kind of like seems to like hide in the back of her hood.
Okay. I talk, and I'm just like, so were you a part of the working in the design? I'm kind of just keeping her distracted, talking about the...
Aldrin, in the meantime, you've been watching up above you. What are you going to do? Are you going to join in on this, or are you going to kind of get lost in the confusion?
I am going to start heading towards the trapdoor and the group. I am also suspicious.
Okay.
But I'm kind of just observing and...
Okay. Right. Aldrin kind of walks over, and Aldrin is always so... Aldrin is one of those kind of people that would look perfectly natural as a grave digger in the middle of a autumn storm, in the middle of twilight. That one person that's just kind of looking out at you with a sinister kind of look. As a result, he's kind of intimidating. but not as intimidating as when Ruse goes downstairs, down the ladder, and sees these halflings down there. They look petrified of you as you walk down this thing. You also realize why there's halflings down there. It's not big enough to fit a normal person. As you go down the ladder, you're chest high when you hit the ground.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, it's okay. We've got some snacks down here, but I don't think it's enough to feed you.
Oh, you got snacks?
You're calling her.
It's all right.
You're calling her fat, you idiot. Don't say that. Oh, I mean, you can have all the snacks you want, I guess.
I appreciate it. I'm sorry I'm half in your room. I guess I will climb out now. Enjoy your snacks, guys. I'll climb back out.
Okay. He kind of waves. You walk out. Ghost, you've seen this whole thing. Aldrin, as you're walking up to the trapdoor yourself, you just see the last bit of Birch, Ghost's companion, drop into the hood. So you know that Birch is there as well. And you also know a little bit about the dynamic between Ghost and Birch. So obviously it's picked up on the suspicious vibe going on there. Aldrin, what would you like to do as Ruse is climbing out? Ruse barely needs to use the ladder, by the way.
I'm gonna ask the woman. I'm not sure what her name was,
Trixie.
but I'm gonna ask what her plans were. Oh, it's Trixie, right?
Mm-hmm. She looks at you and she says, "Well, I'm waiting for your Soundcheck to be over so that I can get an idea of what. I'm really only a hired gun here." She says, "I had no to answer your question, Ghost. I had no part of building this. I'm just here from the College of Magic, and as I get a feel for the type of music you play, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to enhance your performance. But primarily, I'm going to be using a spell called Audible Glamour, which is my way of going to be projecting your sound and making sure it's not distorted for distance. I'll be using dancing lights to enhance each of your performances. I understand that Ruse has a flute solo that she'll be playing later, so I'll be." Yeah, she looks at you, just kind of nods, looks at the absurdity of you carrying a flute. Kind of looks down at the hand axes on your belt, then looks back at the flute. And I understand that you have your demon bellows, and I'm going to be acting like there's going to be flame coming out of it during your solo. I'm just going to be enhancing your performance visually.
Don't you think it's rather smug to think that we need enhancement?
Oh, I meant no offense. As I said, I was just hired here. If you don't want me around, we can talk to Mr. Turvis, and I suppose I could just leave. I certainly didn't mean any offense.
While this is happening, this interaction here, I pull out my lyre and start playing a few strings.
Okay.
And I'm trying to actually, I'm trying to kind of put her into a lull so that we can actually really question her.
You're going to charm her. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So you guys see Ghost pull out her lyre, and acts like she's tuning up a little bit. Starts playing a tune. You guys have heard this tune before. You're playing the tune, and Aldrin, you also have seen this before. Ruse, you've seen this before. Trixie kind of looks like her eyes are a little glassy right now. She's like, "That's beautiful." She listens to your music. She says, "I can see why you're so popular."
What's your real role here, Bellatrix?
I'm an assistant to Mr. Turvis. Just as I said.
And what does Mr. Turvis want you to do?
I'm supposed to enhance your act and make it as loud as possible.
I'm kind of I look over to Aldrin. I'm trying to get some feedback. What he thinks I should where I should take the next question.
Ghost, you and Ruse, you're kind of at the angle. Actually, this is for Ruse. You're watching this question going on. You see Birch emerge from her pocket of her robe, and it's trying to wield this wand out of it. It's this little 4-inch thing, and it's all top heavy with this wand.
Aww.
Sorry.
When I see that happen, I'll be like, oh, hey, what kind of wand is that?
Oh.
It's a fire wand, she says. Kind of
what
glass.
are you gonna do with a fire wand?
Well, I don't just create illusions, you know. I mean, sometimes you have to have pyrotechnics, and sometimes you have to defend yourself. This is the free city of Greyhawk, you know.
Cool.
Could you please put that back? She says, looking down at it. Ghost, what are you going to tell?
I'd like to take a look at the wand. I want to actually hold it. So Birch crawls over.
Well, I don't suppose there's any problem with that. I mean, I am working for you tonight, after all. She holds out her wand. It's a length of aspen. It's kind of bent around a little bit. It looks like it's been grooved at the bottom, so for easier grip at the bottom of it. And the tip of it, there is a bloodstone set in it.
Okay.
It's for the three of you, being that you're bards, you have a lot of you pick up a lot of extraneous knowledge, and this is not an unusual structure for a wand.
Okay. So there's nothing. I don't sense anything unusual about it.
Nah, it looks like she said exactly what it was. It's a fire wand.
Okay. All right. I hand it back.
Ghost, you get the idea that basically all Birch was trying to do was disarm her, so she couldn't attack you. Birch is very protective of you.
My sweetie. Birch is probably the only entity that I show any affection to.
Yes, it's sickening, Aldrin.
Aldrin's getting like a little bit bored.
Okay.
So Aldrin takes the demon bellows out and starts to just kind of go play the demon bellows like kind of quietly, but like while just kind of pacing around and still kind of like eyeing.
Okay, you're on the stage kind of playing around. It just occurred to you, now that you're playing, it kind of frames out how quiet it was before. Outside. The crowd outside of this place, they were dead silent, but as soon as you start playing a little bit, you hear a mumbling, muttering through the crowd. You're, Aldrin, that's got to be the demon bell. You hear the crowd outside starting to get excited a bit. So, you think you hear somebody in the back? Do you think there's any backstage passes back there? I'd love to meet Ruse. She's so tough.
So Ghost glances over to her companions and says, we should do this sound check so that we can get this done and maybe look around a little more.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You guys all go. Trixie's just standing. You stop playing your lyre. Trixie kind of regains her senses. She looks down at her watch. Let that go. She goes, that's not yours. She puts it back. She goes, I think you forgot something. She hands up you, Birch.
You. Yeah, he tends to wander sometimes.
Yes, I see. So you guys go out and you begin to do your sound check. The sound check goes pretty well, you think. The acoustics of the place are great. And Trixie's paying attention to you from the side. You can see her kind of, as you guys are doing playing your different instruments and things, she's, it looks like she's trying to kind of figure out what she wants to do too. Like, for example, Aldrin is playing the demon bellows, and she pulls out her wand a little bit and kind of makes a trail of fire and kind of following the path of the bellows so she can look and see how it will go. And as Ruse starts playing her flute, she goes ahead. She looks like she is looking at the backdrop and she's mentioning to one of the halflings there, I think this is a time for a big orcish battle scene. Like the Pomars, the invasion of the Pomars right there. This will be a good time for that. Oh, yeah, I think so. I think so, Miss Alaluna. I think that would be good. Ghost, you're playing your lyre, and you're near the front of the stage, and you've heard it a million times. Davis, you're a fool. Maybe I'm a fool, but I'm going to leave here a married fool. What are you talking about? I brought the ring. I'm getting a backstage pass, and I'm going to propose to Ghost. You're going to get rejected is what you are. You're an idiot. You think she has time for the likes of you? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So this is your sound check.
Rolling my eyes.
This is your sound check. It's the acoustics of the place are great. You guys are hearing all this stuff going on from the crowd. Trixie's on her best behavior on the side of the stage. She still seems skeevy as can be, but she really hasn't done anything directly that can really give you guys a reason to act against her or anything. So soon enough, the sound check is over. It's just about 2 o'clock, you would imagine, by modern reckoning. The show starts at sunset. After your sound check is over, Lester kind of waddles up to the top of the stage, comes over. Well, what do you think, ladies? And Aldrin.
Sounds good here. We will crush the performance.
You always do. The crowd out there is really excited to hear you. I was listening to a few of them. He nods. He goes, you're not going to have to win this one over. They're already in the bag. 10,000 gold crowns for everyone. Minus 30%.
It will be a great show, but I don't know about this Bellatrix woman.
Oh? Do you have a problem with Bellatrix?
Well, why is the Mercenary Guild associated in this?
Well, not everyone knows someone that just can cast illusions. Not everyone's as talented as you are, Ghost. So, sometimes they have to hire out. So, I don't think that's too unusual, but if she's bothering you, I'll tell her to scram. We'll get somebody new.
I think, she's fine for now. We don't know this stage. We don't know this city. There's halflings below the stage?
Oh, I heard about that. He looks really excited.
I'm just like...
Listen, he goes, do you remember that show that you did in Seoul? He goes, remember? There were rats underneath that one. Which would you rather have, halflings or rats?
Yeah, but the conditions.
Well, you don't have to go down there. Let them do what they do. Let them earn their 10 coppers a day and move on. They have different lives than you and I.
Who's going to be up there?
He looks up there. Well, I would hope no one. That's a long way up.
You would hope.
Aldrin, how many times do we have to go over this? Not everything is a conspiracy out to kill you. Except for the times it has been. I know. I remember Krakenheim. He nods. You were right. I admit you were right. If you want me to, I'll tell Tervis that no one is allowed to go up there tonight. And if you see anyone up there, you have carte blanche to do whatever you want. How does that sound?
I have carte blanche to do whatever I want, whenever I want, anyways.
Oh, you're such a diva. He shakes his head.
But that does sound pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. So I do appreciate that.
All right, well, I'll make it happen. Is there anything else that you guys found that you needed? You want me to make the halflings scram too?
I mean, why are they down there? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe they're just... That's a good question. Why don't we ask them? He goes waddles over to the trapdoor and knocks on the door a couple times. The trapdoor opens up. He looks up. All the halflings look up. Hi. Why don't you guys come up out of here for a second? We need to talk to you. I'm Lester Finkelberry. I'm the manager of the Sirens of Greyhawk. Oh, okay, Mr. Finkelberry. They all come up out of there. They all look at you like, are we in trouble? They had that look on their face. My band wants to know why you're down here. Oh, we're assistants to Mrs. Alaluna. Oh, well, what are you helping her with? Well, whatever she wants, really. She hasn't told us yet. We're just supposed to be down here to help.
So now that they've come up and they're on the stage, is there anything, I mean, about their appearance?
They look a little pale, like they don't get a lot of sun. But that's not uncommon for halflings. I mean, they live underground. So, Aldrin, make me a D6, please.
Oh.
You too, Ruse, please. A six-sider, please.
Oh, I left my dice downstairs.
Oh, that's okay. I'll roll for you if you'd like.
Okay, cool.
Okay. That was a 6 for you. And Aldrin, what do you have?
3.
Okay. Aldrin, both you and Ruse have infravision, which means you can see heat signatures in the dark. All right. There is nothing down there that you can see that's alive in the darkness. That area is actually quite small. You can tell because the walls are really cold and they leave a signature for you. The area is probably only maybe 30 by 30 underneath there, and there's nothing in there except for a table with looks like some snacks on there that are half eaten.
Alright.
Why don't you, Lester says, what's that?
Sorry, I'm looking to Aldrin and Ruse, and I'm just shaking my head. I mean, why are they there? Just doesn't make any sense.
I think they're the stagehands, right? They run all the they help with the effects.
But there are no effects.
Well, I think that she's going to have us like opening and closing the curtains, I would think. She says. He says, I'll tell you what. She gets paid an awful lot of coin to do this show. She can open and close those curtains herself. Why don't you 5 just get out of here? I'll make sure you get paid. Well, what about Miss No, don't worry about Miss Alaluna. You're talking to the manager of the Sirens of Greyhawk. Out. They kind of look at you 3 and, oh, have a nice day. Good show. Good show. They all leave. Looks back at you. See? Problem solved.
Okay.
Aldrin, are you happy now?
I don't know.
I shouldn't have asked. All right, so what are you ladies are going to do until the show starts? Are you going to return to the Golden Phoenix? Do you have any other business you'd like to handle? Are there any other questions you'd like to ask of any of the NPCs involved?
I would like to know, is it possible for us to walk around the stage, or would we be mobbed?
You would be mobbed, but Lester brought the 2 mercenaries with him since your sound check, so he can have them accompany you as personal security.
Okay. I mean, I'm just thinking maybe we should look at the entire stage.
As the 3 of you do that, the mercenaries walk with you. The one mercenary wants to be as far away from Ruse as humanly possible. He's got a bandage across his nose. They walk around with you, and these guys do a pretty good job of keeping people away from you. He's like, stone's throw, stone's throw. So you walk around the whole venue. The venue is very wide open around it. You don't really see anything that strikes you as being untoward. There's grass around there. Like I said, it's about 100 feet from the Citadel walls. It's going to be spectacular come sunset.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Okay. But there's really nothing that strikes you. Is there anything else you'd like to accomplish?
Well, I look to Aldrin and Ruse and say, okay, what do you guys want to do?
I mean, I kind of am, like you guys have clearly noticed that there's something going on here. So when we're playing tonight, if you see anything weird, just make sure I'm aware. You just point me at it. But we'll have a good show. Don't
Birch
worry
is
about
missing.
it.
Birch is gone.
Birch is gone.
Yeah, he's missing. You have no idea where he is.
Okay. Let's go back inside and check that trap door again and make sure that he didn't go down there.
Okay. Aldrin, you are leading there because of your sharp senses. D6, please, for me.
5.
Yeah, you're looking at it, and you don't see anything. You don't see Birch down there at all. Ruse, it occurs to you, being that you're a half orc, the orcish side of your family, you guys know a lot about being underground and a lot about tunnels. This way that this is constructed underneath the ground, there's no way it could join to anything. There's no secret doors or anything you don't suspect.
Okay.
Yeah. But I need everybody to let me roll you girls a 20. Rachel, why don't you roll me a 20, please?
13.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, you don't see anything unusual besides that. Just the fact that it can't join to anything.
Well, that's good to know.
Mhm.
So make sure we clue Ghost in on that.
Ghost, you are clued in.
So
no
at
sign
least,
of Birch
yeah,
anywhere.
But at least he hasn't wandered into some cave complex that's connected to this.
Right.
Ghost, this is especially troubling, though, because last time Birch went missing like this, a bunch of your groupies had found him and were trying to keep him as a souvenir. Like, the greatest personal souvenir ever from the Sirens of Greyhawk. I actually have Birch himself. That didn't turn out so good. That was... You guys like to refer to that as the tragic Scant incident for what happened to the crowd after that. Nobody really likes to talk about that.
I have to say this really quick. I may just have to paint Birch.
Okay. The tragic Scant incident is also, by the way, why Ruse is not allowed in the city of Scant any longer.
Oh my god.
There is a rumor that you can still see the smoke plume from the Grand Theater of on a clear day from the Grand Theater at Scant, but no one's really sure if that's true or not.
Aldrin has been thinking about this halfling issue. There's no ropes or switches or anything in that basement.
No, but you do see on the side of the sides of the stage that they do have the pulleys for the curtains. But no, it did not connect down there.
Okay.
By the way, Trixie has vanished since you guys walked around the place. When you come back to the stage.
Right. Okay. So either somebody grabbed Birch when we were doing our walk around, or he went with her, the halflings. Crud.
There's no telling.
Come back and do this show.
Okay. Well, Lester says, "I'll be watching you guys right from stage left."
Okay, I need somebody to look for Birch though. So I want Lester. I'm asking him if he'll send one of these, bodyguards to, just kind of survey the crowd and see if he sees Birch anywhere.
He looks at him. "You heard him, boys. Go ahead and search the crowd, search the area. I want no stone left unturned. If you see any twigs on the ground, pick it up and make sure it's not moving." Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's how you solve the problem.
You're my boy, Les.
So, he always likes to tell you that when he's really at his most ostentatious, he goes, "Always remember, less is more."
Oh my god.
He's that guy.
He is that guy.
Yeah, I was about to thank him, and then he said that, and I was just like, oh.
Aldrin just groans and walks away.
Sunset is approaching.
And laugh.
Sunset is approaching rapidly. Your group assembles on the stage. As he promised, Lester is stage left. He's standing right next to Trixie. Lester's hand is in his pocket. Lester always carries a dagger in his pocket. Lester is just kind of sitting there watching you. He kind of winks at Aldrin. He sees Aldrin's expressionless look back at him. He just kind of shakes his head. The crowd goes really quiet. The stage lights start to come up. Trixie's gesturing in the air. Golden colored lights around her hands start wisping in the air like crackling flames from a midnight bonfire. The crowd goes into a quiet hush. You've been here a million times before. The energy of the performance is starting to rush over you. The anticipation. It's almost like a lot of what's happened today, the weirdness of it kind of goes away because of the moment. This is what you guys all live for. This is why you put up with the BS that you put up with the groupies and with Lester and with weirdness. This is what it's all about. The music. The crowd goes dead silent. The curtains open and you're staring out into a crowd. Have you ever seen the footage of the major festivals like Walk-In or Live Aid or something like that, where you have literally almost 100,000 people? That's what it looks like. There is at least 20,000 people in the crowd out there looking at you. There's banners in the air. There's people sitting. Everyone is enwrapped looking at you. The whole crowd just is kind of quiet. You look up in the sky out in front of you. The two moons that circle Greyhawk are out in full, both of them shining down upon you. It's a starless sky. And suddenly the stage lights begin to rise up. What do you guys want to do?
So, I want to run out and go like this and scream. And then I want to play some on my flute, and then I want to point to Aldrin and then point to Ghost.
Okay, as soon as Ruse comes running out with her scream, the crowd erupts. It's a deafening roar. It almost, you can feel it in your chest, go right to the core of you. It's just basso wave of energy comes at you. The rowdies are going berserk out in the crowd. You see all their colored mohawks, like shark fins in the air, back and forth, screaming. They're moving their banner back and forth around, erupting. Ruse starts playing her flute. It's like this war dance. Imagine the most metal version of a Jethro Tull song you can imagine as she comes out there playing her flute. The crowd is going berserk. She points over at Aldrin. Aldrin
starts playing, but just kind of like very aloofly enters the stage towards the back.
Aldrin starts playing, and as Aldrin's playing, you see the flames coming out of the illusionary flames coming out of the demon bellows. They're making these almost demonic faces in the fire over it. As Aldrin walks on stage, you see lilies being thrown on stage in front of him by this whole crew in black lace and veils. They're going crazy, and he's just walking on, laconically playing, walking on this carpet of lilies that they're throwing in front. Points over at Ghost.
I walk onto the stage, and it looks. I'm walking as if I'm walking out of like some magical realm.
Okay.
And I'm already, strumming my lyre, and my hair is probably doing some stuff all on its own. Okay. I'm walking with all the grace of like one of the high elves, basically.
Aldrin, you're sitting there playing your demon bells, walking on it. As soon as you can see from the other side of the stage, this mist starting to rise up, this fog cloud. It's this roiling kind of, almost a steamy, diaphanous mist. coming through it, you can hear the lyre, the music of it. The crowd starts going crazy back there. There she is! It's Ghost! It's Ghost! It starts to waver and move as with her movements as she walks out of there, playing the lyre. The crowd goes crazy. Her hair is blowing in this invisible wind back and forth. It's almost like this long ribbon of white silk behind her. The crowd is going ballistic out there through your first song. At this point in time, Aldrin, I need you to make me a 6-sider.
3.
Okay. The crowd is going crazy out there. You hear the rowdies are out there. They're starting a mosh pit in the front, bashing each other back and forth. One of your groupies gets caught in it in the black veil. You see all the lilies go flying everywhere. But as you're walking out there, walking across your thing of lilies playing the Demon Bellows, you actually cross center stage, right behind Ruse, to get to your normal spot. There's something underneath the trapdoor right in the middle of the stage that's kind of quivering. It's vibrating slightly. And it's not the crowd. It's not you. You know this. You're the only one of these three that could possibly be perceptive of this because of your elvish senses. Ghost is only a half-elf. Your pure elvish senses can pick this up right away. There's something going on underneath there. And you're right in the middle of your show.
Okay. Am I able to kind of like lift the trap door with my foot and like kind of see what's going on in there?
Why don't you make me a 20-sider roll and let me know?
Uh-oh.
5.
Oh no.
5?
5.
Ghost, you're walking out of there. Aldrin is like kicking at the ground a little bit at the stage and almost trips, actually. The Ruse, you're watching the crowd over there. Their reaction to it is all these black outfitted people start kind of trying to fall over themselves like it's a dance step that they're trying to copy.
Roll with it, alright.
So what are you going to do? Ruse and Ghost are still playing. Ruse is at the front of the stage. Usually she's the one at the front of the stage playing the flute. Ghost is usually at the stage left at the front. You're usually at stage right, Aldrin. Ghost and Ruse have not noticed really what's going on here. You're kind of hanging back there behind them a little bit, trying to kick at this, not going to your normal spot.
So normally Aldrin is using both hands to play.
Right.
He does a switch where he grabs one of the pipes with one hand and then sweeps his arm across and does like a rock star kind of like dance flourish. And sweeps the ground and grabs the trapdoor and just flings it.
You hear Ghost and Ruse as he does that flourish. You hear, look at that one hand, that's so sick. You hear some people out there in the crowd. And as soon as she does the flourish, the whole crowd begins to go back and forth, moving their arms. It's the coolest sight back there. The whole thing looks like this field of grain with everybody moving their arms. And they're all kind of chanting in time with your music. But then you see Aldrin whip open the trap door. Aldrin, there is a ladder that goes straight down. And it's a lot farther than the one that was in the other one. And you hear the sound of, it sounds like pickaxes on stone.
Okay.
Ghost and Ruse, both of you have noticed Aldrin while opening that thing up, and now that your attention is drawn over there, you're aware of the fact that there's noise coming up from out of it, but you really can't hear what it is.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, I mean, I'm aware that something is happening, and I continue to play, but I start to move in that direction.
Okay. Your whole group is Ruzer. What are you gonna do?
So when I notice that, I want to do a quick look around to see what is the heaviest thing near me. Is there anything on the stage that's heavy?
Aldrin and his demon bellows.
Damn. Okay. All right, cool. So then I will start to, like, walk and play my flute towards the group as well.
Okay. You start doing that, and as you guys are walking towards the whole group, you look straight down. You all see the ladder going down. All of you are playing. The whole crowd is watching you intently, trying to figure out what you're doing, all gathering around the trapdoor. They're waiting for something spectacular.
Oh, man.
Aldrin takes a quick look up to the rafters.
There's nobody there.
Okay. Can the demon bellows, like, can I cast, like, a light effect down in the hole with them?
Make me a 20-sider.
13.
Brilliance appears underneath you at the bottom of the ladder. You see multiple shadows for an instant, okay? As the light appears, you guys are all gathered around there. The light appears. It comes up out of the thing like a sun ray. So the crowd goes berserk. They're thinking you're doing some kind of ritual or something around it. But then you hear Trixie go, I don't think so. Make me a 20-sider saving throw, Rachel.
11.
She reaches her hand out, and this brilliant prismatic spray of lights washes over your entire group. Ghost, instantly you're kind of staggered. You've got these bright spots in front of you. Ruse, the same thing. Aldrin, you're okay for the most part right now. What are you going to do? Ghost, Ruse, and Aldrin, all three of you are experienced enough to know that was an offensive spell called Color Spray.
Okay. I'm kind of thinking that since I'm a little bit, like, dazed, I'm gonna try and slam the door shut with my foot and stand on it.
Okay. Ruse slams the door shut, stands on it. Just as you start, Aldrin, you heard somebody trying to come up the ladder. As Ruse slams on it and steps on it, you hear somebody tumble down the ladder. Ghost, your turn. We're going to go left to right now for the turn action on this. Okay. Ghost, what are you going to do?
Well, believe it or not, I'm still playing.
Okay. Ghost is still playing. The mist rolling around your feet. The crowd thinks that this is part of the stage show, by the way, and they're going nuts.
Yeah, but I turn to Aldrin and Ruse, and I'm motioning with my eyes. We need to get down there. Yeah, we have to get down there.
Aldrin, your turn. As you get that, the eye contact's there. You guys have played with each other long enough. You're friends long enough. You know exactly what she wants to do.
Let's see. My instinct was not to go down there.
Okay.
It was basically to neutralize Trixie.
Okay.
So,
how do you want to do that?
I would like to attempt to charm her.
Okay. You start to play.
Yeah.
The Demon Bellow starts to play. Aldrin starts this horrifying, bone-chilling tune starts to come out of it like this funeral dirge. Oh, man, I'm rolling terrible tonight. Trixie just looks like she looks lost for a moment, like a lost soul when she hears it. Meanwhile, Lester looks over and says, "Nobody hurts my girls," and takes a knife and sticks it right in her back. "No one hurts my sirens!" Sticks it right in her back. Trixie screams out. Lester pushes her on stage. She falls flat on stage with a knife sticking out of her back. Aldrin, you had just been playing the Demon Bells, that horrible dirge, and this dead body comes falling out of there. The crowd erupts. They're going nuts. They're like, "Awesome!" You hear? Ruse, your turn. What are you going to do? You're standing on top. You start hearing banging on from beneath your feet.
So, I can do this, like, IV vine thing.
Uh-huh.
Can I use it to, like, wrap them all around the trapdoor?
You can. You can cover the entire trapdoor with them.
That's what I was kind of thinking.
Okay.
So, like, I'd have them, like, come all the way up and around, and hopefully it'll look like a stage effect.
The flute starts playing while the dead body is laying there. Well, actually, she's not dead, but she looks like she's dead. Ghost, you hear her start to play in that key that you're familiar with. You guys are all kind of playing off of each other right now. So this is really not even a Sirens of Greyhawk song. You're all ad-libbing like a jazz band right now. And Ruse, all of a sudden, these tendrils, these vines start springing out from underneath the stage. Now, because of the fog that was on the ground, it starts to look like this grassy heath. It actually still looks like part of the show. Like Ghost is standing in the middle now of this diaphanous, this lonely bit of heather and things like that. These tendrils start wrapping around, overgrowing it. Ruse, you're gonna have to step away from it to avoid being entangled yourself.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll step back.
Ruse steps back, and the whole thing is entangled. You hear people starting to pound up against the bottom of it, and they're pounding at the bottom of it, but it's not getting anywhere. Aldrin, you're back. You hear somebody at the crowd. "I thought performers weren't supposed to turn their backs to the crowd. They're too cool for us!" Yeah! Ghost, your turn.
All right, so I'm gonna kneel down next to Trixie's body.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna kind of...
She's still alive, by the way. She's like clutching the ground, trying to stand up.
So basically, yeah, I've got her under one of my feet.
Okay.
Okay, and I have the lyre in my other hand, kind of propped up, and I'm still playing, but I'm searching her body right now. I'm looking for Birch.
Ghost is playing one-handed over there, doing all these hammer-ons with it, basically, so she can play with one hand. And she's rifling through the pockets, as a good thief always does. And the wand is in there, for one thing. She's got a coin purse that's down there, and it looks like she's got a scroll case with her, but you don't see Birch anywhere.
Okay. I am gonna...
Lester looks at you. Lester yells over at you, says, "You're the closest one. Are you okay?"
Yes, I'm okay.
He looks at you. "What's going on here?"
You tell us.
"I have no idea. I didn't know what to do, so I stabbed her."
Well, that was the right move. We need to find out what's going on below the stage.
"Then get down there." "Ow. I guess the show's over."
Yeah, I think so. Maybe we can do an encore next day.
As you're saying this, Aldrin, what are you gonna do?
Well, Aldrin's still playing and being impossibly cool, so Aldrin does a flourish that kind of crescendos the song and brings it to an end.
Okay. "We love you, Aldrin! Aldrin, you're the best!" Crescendo comes, the song ends. As soon as the song ends, the trapdoor explodes upwards with about surrounding 3 foot of the stage around there. This horrifying creature starts to come out of it. It's even taller than Ruse. It's muscle-bound, bald-headed. It looks like it's got bulges and lesions on its face. One of its blue eyes stares at you. It makes this horrifying roar with spittle coming down its face. It's climbing up out of you, and it's looking like it wants to murder someone.
Okay.
Ruse, go ahead. What's your move?
All right. So, let's do... Oh, let's go with the swarm of insects.
Oh, okay. You gonna cast the spell, or is it going to be a? You're gonna cast a spell?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ruse goes ahead. As this thing comes out, the crowd is going crazy. They still think this is part of the show because now all they see is this lonely heath with all the fog over it, and the thing explodes out of it. So now they're going crazy. They think that this is another part of the show. Ruse reaches down in her pocket. You see her. She pulls out a sprig of mistletoe and throws it in the air. As it throws in the air, all the little individual petals of it turn into wings. And you see they're attached to like biting insects. So she just reaches down, and all of this mistletoe becomes in midair this swarm of insects that starts crawling all over it. It stings. It starts to roar out in pain. All three of you have seen this kind of creature before. It's an ogre. For sure. Ghost, it's your turn.
Okay, can I assume that I took those items off of Trixie's body?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Okay. I'd like to take a closer look at that scroll face.
Okay.
Um,
You're looking at it you're doing your best to look at this quickly because there's so much going on around you. You're also still playing one-handed. So it's kind of hard to do, but you get it open, you look at it, you see a top-down view of the venue. Underneath from the trapdoor, you can see kind of like a dotted line. It's like a map. It shows a passageway and another down. And it says, you're looking at it, and you're kind of figuring out, and everything makes sense to you right then. The way that it's dug down and tunneled, they're trying to break into the Grand Citadel.
Okay.
Whoever hired you wanted a big enough distraction that no one would hear tunneling underneath the walls of the Grand Citadel.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I'm gonna.
And now you understand why Trixie wanted you to be as loud as possible.
Yes. Okay. So I've stopped playing at this point.
Okay. Ghost stops playing. Aldrin, your turn.
Aldrin's gonna cast Entangle.
Okay. Spell or from your Demon Bellows?
If I'm still playing the Demon Bellows, I'll just
Okay.
do it that way.
The Demon Bellows is doing the flames all of a sudden start turning green, and they kind of sift out into the air, and they start becoming these like ivy, which settles to the ground, and as it settles to the ground, it starts growing up in this massive patch. It starts wrapping around this ogre's legs and arms. It's struggling. It's reaching out for Ruse to try and grab her and throttle her, but the ivy is too strong. It's wrapping around it. It's kind of pulling it to the ground. Ruse, your turn.
All right, so I'm gonna take just a quick second and blow like a sharp note on the flute and do make a pit.
She does that. The crowd is making a massive mosh pit right there.
And then I'm gonna get axes.
Okay.
And go to town with this ogre.
She pulls out her axes. The crowd goes wild. All the rowdies pull out axes. You hear all the security front. Hey, no weapons here! No weapons here! Rue starts going, comes over. You see her jump in midair with both axes. I'll roll your 20s.
Thank you.
That's a 19 and a 20.
Nice.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Aldrin and Ghost, you see Ruse come over, and both axes, she takes them, and she buries them both right in the sides of the neck on this thing. It actually goes down into the ground like another 2.5 feet from her sheer strength and weight as she thing lets out a horrifying roar. Blood, this black ichor starts, it explodes out of its shoulders. It's with every pulse of its body, it's just pouring out of its body all over the stage. The pit is going ballistic. Yeah! Ruse! 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 Everybody's chanting these orcish war chants over there that make absolutely no sense whatsoever in orcish. Ghost, your turn.
Okay, so is this thing still standing?
It's if Aldrin wanted to on his turn, he'll be able to use his entangle to pull it down underneath the stage. It's on its last legs.
Right. Okay. Well, I'd like to go ahead and attack it with my quarterstaff.
Okay. Are you going to use any charges, extra charges from it?
I am going to use 2 charges.
Okay, let's roll a 20 on that. As this, Aldrin, you see the thing entangled. Ghost was looking at the document with one hand. She drops the document, turns around, still playing with one hand, pulls out her quarterstaff with a flourish, and swings like a backhand at the thing's head. Hits it square in the face. You hear this immense thunderclap from the explosion. Ruse, you're close enough. You're right there. You kind of had to duck your head from this thing whipping past you. You're right, like a foot from it, and you see its nose just explode on its face. It hit it with such force, both of its cheekbones break, its eyes almost bulge out for a second, and it's dead for sure.
Yes!
The crowd's going ballistic. Aldrin, your turn.
Is it dead?
Oh, it's dead. It's
Yeah,
still hanging there because your ivy is supporting it. It's just
Okay.
like, it's almost like rigging, holding it up still.
Okay, so I like release the entangle spell.
You release the entangle. As soon as you release the entangle, you see the thing drop like a cut marionette, and you hear something below on the ladder. It's coming down! And you hear all these people down there start scattering, and this horrible sound. It sounds like breaking Tinker Toys. Ruse, your turn. You're standing right there. If you want to come down with it, you can just hang on to your axes.
Let's do this. If I can have time to do like anything for the crowd, because I'm a goddamn professional, I'll just be like, ah, and go down. That'd be great.
This is what you guys see. Aldrin, still holding one axe, turns around at the crowd, goes, "Roar!" The whole crowd salutes back, "Roar!" And she just disappears straight down, plunges down into the thing with it. Ghost, your turn. Ruse, when Ruse's character was first floated to me, she wanted to be metal as can be. Well, guess what? You're metal as can be.
So good.
What do you got, Ghost?
Okay.
You're in arm's reach of the trapdoor because you used your quarterstaff. You've got Trixie's goods with you.
Right.
Ruse just took the plunge straight down this ladder. Who knows how far it goes down, by the way.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously we need to get down there, but I've seen this map, and I haven't told anyone else.
Uh-huh.
So I think I'm going to give the map to Lester, and he needs to get to the Citadel to let them know what is happening.
You need to get to Ruse and help her. She's our meal ticket.
Yeah.
Not that you guys aren't important, but she's our meal ticket. What are the rowdies going to say?
Lester, just do this. They need to know we're going to go get Ruse.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll go right now. Go get Ruse.
All right.
He goes right off the stage with this document. Anybody, hey! You hear him run off the stage. Aldrin, your turn.
So, sorry, I I missed this. Did Ghost go down?
No, Ghost is standing there. She just gave Lester the map. Lester ran off. He's waving the map in the air. Anybody! I just killed somebody! Anybody!
Aldrin tells Ghost, you gotta get down there. I'll end this. And I then begin to launch into a piece that is an Aldrin instrumental solo that is known to basically like end the show.
Okay,
and
I need you to roll me percentage dice. 2d10s, please.
2d10s.
Yep, 2d10s. Call one high and call the other. Call one the tens digit and call the other the ones digit.
Okay, hold on.
Mm-hmm. If you don't have 2, you can just roll 1 twice.
I've got 2.
Okay.
So 0 and 4.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. For charm attacks and things like that, you want to roll low. Okay. So Aldrin goes into this instrumental piece. There's a funny thing about first edition rules and bards. No one ever said that there was a limit to how many people could be charmed. Aldrin is charming the entire crowd with the Demon Bellows. Aldrin is playing the Demon Bellows right there in the middle, kind of just walking around the lilies and everything. The whole crowd goes into this hushed silence. The moon's in the air. You can almost see the clouds go across them for a moment. People are wailing in the crowd out there crying, and it's so heartfelt. The black-clad people are tearing their clothing. It's the most gothic moment in the history of Greyhawk music. The sky opens up and a deluge starts to pour down with rain. The wind is coming. Aldrin, you're charming the entire crowd of 20,000 people in front of you with this virtuoso performance. Ghost and Ruse, you've never heard Aldrin play like this before. This is amazing. You guys even want to fall prey to it.
That's really good.
Yeah. Meanwhile, down in the hall, Ruse, you hear her still hold up her fist with axe in one hand, holding on the other. When you hit the ground on top of this ogre. You had to have fallen at least 30 feet. Okay? When you hit the ground, you kind of, if it wasn't for the fact that you had a soft ogre underneath you, covered in entangling ivy, you'd have probably broken your neck. However, when you do hit, it's as soft as a feather when you hit. You kind of almost bounce off of this ivy. Down on the ground, thanks to Aldrin's light spell, this is what you see. It's a 30-foot wide stone area, 50 feet long. Okay? There's a trap door in the ground on it. And there are 5 halflings down there. 4 of them have 2 daggers in hands. One of them is at the back of them wearing chainmail, and he's gesturing in the air over his head, colored lights over his head. What are you going to do?
Okay.
Get her! Get her! You hear the halflings say. They're charging after her.
All right. Well then, I guess let's get him.
What are you gonna do?
So I'll just like take my axes out and be like,
pull your axes out.
Yep. I'll be like, fellas, and I'll just like get ready.
Okay, you go into your stance over there.
Yep.
Okay, time for initiative right now. Ruse, you get to go first. What are you gonna do?
Oh, can I make my my flesh hard?
Yes, you can. You're gonna use a bark skin?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. The halflings are charging at you. Immediately your skin, the pinkish orcish skin, turns a dark brown, like almost like mahogany. You can actually see the veins in it from like the texture of bark all over your body. Ghost, what are you going to do upstairs? You're coming down now?
I am coming down, and I'm also hoping that Lester is sending word to the Citadel.
Okay.
Yes, I am coming down.
Ghost is coming down the ladder. You're going as fast as humanly possible. You look over, and you see Ruse. You see the scene in front of you. Ruse is standing there. Skin is turning to wooden bark right in front of your eyes. The halflings do not look like they want any part of her, but they're being spurred on, obviously, by fear of something else. Behind them is a cleric about to cast some kind of magical spell. I need you to... You don't have dice. Okay, so hold on. Okay, you go first. What are you going to do? You make it to the bottom. You're right behind Ruse. Ruse is in her stance right over there. The halfling brigade is charging. Your turn.
Okay, the cleric. I want to cast Entangle.
Okay. Off of
Try
your...
to
A spell
stop him.
or off of your flute?
A spell, please.
Okay. Ruse, you're standing back there. You're looking at it. You don't even notice what's going on behind you because you're so busy about worried about the fight about to come. All of a sudden, these tendrils of ivy start coming up out of the ground. Flowers are kind of like deadly nightshade flowers. That's Ghost's particular way that her spell expresses itself. The deadly nightshades are exploding out of the ivy, and it's wrapping up around the cleric. Aldrin, what are you going to do at the top of the... You're at the top. The crowd... The storm is up there. Lightning is crashing the sky. The crowd is enwrapped absolutely by your performance.
So they know that this is the end song because this is established.
It
so
is established.
I wrap it up, and I do a very flourishy bow.
Now, normally, the crowd would be really upset because you guys have only been on stage for about 15 minutes. But the fact is, you've just charmed them. So when you bow like that and do that, the crowd starts... They are howling with enthusiasm to the skies. The rain is coming down. The crowd is applauding you just... a thunderous ovation. Ruse and Ghost can even hear it underground through the stone wall. This massive ovation that you're getting. And as you do that, the curtains close suddenly. And one of the halflings is standing there just looking at you, goes, "It made sense."
So I just jump straight down.
Okay, Aldrin dives down into the area. Okay, Ruse, going back to you now.
Okay.
You have 5 halflings in front of you, and you have a halfling cleric in the back that's casting a spell. Who are you going to attack first? With your axes.
All right, so it's the 5 dudes in front and behind. They're
Yep.
like a little wall, and behind
Yep.
them is their cleric.
Yep.
I don't really want... Are there attacks of opportunity in first?
Nope.
There isn't.
Nope.
Oh, let's go for that spellcaster.
Okay.
Remember, I've cast Entangle on him. So
Yeah, you see those vines wrapping up around him already.
Right. Can they, when someone's entangled, can they still cast?
No, they cannot
Oh,
cast.
cool. Then let's go for some of the
If
guys
this
with attacks.
works, well, here's the thing. This is how this is going to work. If he makes his saving throw, the spell, he's going to be able to cast that spell. There's a chance he fails it, though. If he fails it, he's entangled and spell's foiled.
Great. Okay.
So you don't know
I've got
yet
my-
exactly how it's going to play out.
All right, then I'll trust him on Barkskin, and hopefully he'll fail his throw, his save, and let's just go for whoever's the biggest halfling.
Okay, and Ruse, you're going to
The one
charge.
inch
You're going to
taller.
charge into combat.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Ghost, this is what you see. You see the 7-foot-tall halfling with this bark skin screaming a war charge, barreling down this short corridor where there's really no place to go. I'm going to make a morale check for these halflings right now.
Yes.
2 of them turn and start screaming and running away from him. The other 2, they clash in the middle. Ruse, you are going to swing. Are you going to attack the 2 separate ones or one at the same time?
Ooh, interesting. Can I do... I'm gonna bet that they're not that big. So let's attack 2.
Okay. Ruse attacks 2. The first cut goes clear straight over. She didn't compensate for the height of the halfling.
Oh, no.
Goes straight over its head, but it forces it to duck down, and the second one comes upwards with a swing and hits it right in the stomach. You hear this horrible sound of that. It's indescribable. The sound of a bladed object actually impaling into flesh, but that's what you hear. You hear the thing the halfling just make this horrible gurgling noise all of a sudden at the end. But she's so strong that she actually lifts it up off the ground with the backswing. The thing hits the ceiling above her and drops down to the ground again. Ghost, your play? In the meantime, you're casting your spell. The tendrils all wrap around the cleric, and the colored lights disappear. Damn you! You hear him scream. As soon as he says, damn, Aldrin comes flying down this hole right next to you and hits this pile of ogre and ivy and bounces up once off the ground. Aldrin, you thought you were going to break your neck when you came down that thing. That you were coming down 1,000,000 miles an hour in the dark, and all of a sudden bounce right next to Ghost. You're standing there. What are you going to do? The first thing you get to see, by the way, is a halfling falling from the ceiling face first onto the stone ground.
The one that was casting the spell, that wasn't the one that hit the ground?
No, that was it. That was the cleric at the back. He's covered in ivy with deadly nightshade all over it. You've hung out with Ghost enough to know that that's her signature for her entanglement spell.
Okay. Am I within range to throw a dagger at it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I throw my dagger of throwing straight at that guy.
20, please. A 20-sider?
5.
Okay, make me a 2d4 roll.
So 2 and a 3.
Okay. Ghost, being an elf and being an ethereal kind of almost fey creature, you're a very elegant and graceful creature, but seeing a full-blooded gray elf in combat is quite a sight. Aldrin bounces off of that thing next to you, does a tumble in midair, in mid-flip, throws the dagger of throwing at the cleric. You watch it glint once in the light that he caused over there by the ground. There's no way there's no way even a half-elf could have made that throw. But that throw hits him straight in the shoulder. Blood everywhere coming out of this chainmail armor. The halfling shrieks. The two that ran from you, Ruse, the halflings are trying the trap door at the back of the room, but there's a problem. It's now overgrown because of Ghost's entangle spell. They can't go anywhere. They're freaking out right now. Open up! Open up! They're here! They're shaking the ground like that. The one halfling's like, cowards. He comes running at you and tries to stab you with his daggers. That's a miss. And one of them hits that massive lyre belt buckle that you've got.
Nice.
Ruse has this massive belt buckle that she wears. It's in the shape of a lyre. She can't play the lyre. Hits the thing and just kind of deflects off of it. Because he's so short, that's all he could reach up and hit. Your turn, Ruse. What are you going to do?
All right, so that guy that just attacked me, I shall return the favor.
Oh, okay. Ruse goes ahead, and she clears out with her hatchet. The first one hits him in the shoulder. It hits him so hard, it hits him and knocks him into the wall, the 20 feet distance he's got to go to the wall. You hear him just make this horrible noise against the wall, out cold as soon as he hits the ground. The other two, you got two of them dead right now on the middle of the ground. One of them is indecisive about what he's going to do. The other two are trying this trapdoor fruitlessly, and the last cleric is sitting there wrapped up in ivy, completely from head to toe now. He looks like a topiary right now. Ghost, your turn.
Okay, all right. Well, I can't let Aldrin outdo me. I mean, you know, I may not be full elf, but you know, I'm taking out my quarterstaff and I'm gonna show him some moves and
Okay.
you know, go
Against the
after this cleric.
last halfling? Okay.
Yeah, yes, let's do that.
Aldrin, you see Ghost kind of look back at you and wink, puts the quarterstaff on the ground and uses it almost like a pole vault.
Yeah.
Launches herself like a lightning bolt across the room. Has one of the halflings in like a neck lock with her leg and takes the butt end of it and bashes him in the side of the head with it. Out cold. Instantly. Pops right back up, no problem, like nothing ever happened. I rolled a 19, by the way, on that attack.
Wow,
Your turn, Aldrin. What are you going to do? By the way, Ghost, as you look back at him, you hear something go whizzing past your shoulder. Aldrin just has his hand up, and the dagger of throwing snaps back into his hand.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, rolling my eyes. Whatever.
What are you going to do, Aldrin?
So the cleric is still alive.
Yeah, but he's completely, like I said, he's like a topiary. He's completely covered in ivy. You can't even see his skin right now. You can hear this mumble underneath all the ivy overgrowth. Two deadly nightshades poking out where his eyes should be.
That's a painting right there.
The two halflings that are trying to escape.
Mm-hmm. They both put their hands up when they see you.
If I charm them, will it last beyond this encounter? Like, can I like charm them and
no? But as long as they're listening to you play, you can keep them charmed.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna like take my dagger of throwing and throw it at the cleric again.
Okay. You throw your dagger of throwing. Make me a 20-sider, please.
2.
Okay. Flips over, goes right into one of the deadly nightshades. This is basically, that was a coup de grace because he was completely motionless. You needed to roll a 1 in order not to hit him. All of a sudden, you just stop hearing the murmuring at all. He's still hung up. The knife is stuck into one of the deadly nightshades. Ruse, your turn. The halflings. We quit. We're sorry. We quit. What are you gonna do, Ruse?
All right, so are we still considering ourselves in combat, or are we out of combat?
It depends. If you guys want to coup de grace these two halflings, if that's how you roll, then you're still in combat. If not,
all right,
this combat's over.
Okay, cool. I don't know. My band members can do what they wish, but I'm gonna go over and I'm just gonna like stand in front of them and be like, ah, and then I'm gonna be like, and then I'm just gonna be like, you're gonna tell me what you're doing down here right now.
One of them won't because he faints. The other looks at you and goes, "We're here for Falcon. We're here for Falcon."
Okay, and then I'm gonna I'll be all up in his personal space and demand to know who Falcon is.
Aldrin, make me a percentage dice roll again. Those two 10s.
Oh, I'm sorry, I rolled the wrong thing.
Oh, that's fine.
Uh, 50?
Okay.
And 80?
Okay. Sarah, Ruse, Ghost, and Aldrin, none of you, all three of you made your legend lore for this. 30 years ago in the free city of Greyhawk, there was an evil cult that took hold in its sewer system. The leader of this cult was a woman who called herself Falcon. Okay? Falcon was a spirit naga, as it should turn out. Okay? She was a kind of a serpentine, horrific spellcasting monster. Vampiric, possibly. She was killed 30 years ago in these sewers, and the cult was scattered. Nobody's really sure what to make of it. But Ruse, one other thing, since you're questioning this person, you look at his neck, and he's wearing a pendant that has a skull face on it, and right away you recognize it as the holy symbol of the evil demigod Ayuz, who has a kingdom to the north and is possibly the most dangerous, most evil, unrepentantly evil demon in flesh that walks the earth. He's like, we work for Falcon. Just let me live. I'll leave and I'll never come back.
Ooh.
So at this time, though, I'm going to turn to Aldrin and Ruse and tell them about the map that I took off of Trixie.
Okay.
And basically, you know, what it showed.
He nods. He goes, that's what we're doing. We're tunneling underneath into the Grand Citadel. Falcon might already be there. As soon as he says that, Ghost, you think about Lester running over to the Citadel.
Poor Lester. But you know what? I have some confidence in Lester after tonight with his dagger. So
yeah, Lester showed up.
Yeah.
Okay. Aldrin, you have anything you want to do right away?
He asks them how many more are waiting for us.
Depends on how many are in the Citadel by now, but probably 15 or so. Plus Falcon's got magical powers. She summons things. There could be dozens more down there.
I'd like to ask him a question.
Go ahead.
Have you seen a small twig-like creature?
He looks at you like you're kidding at first, like he doesn't know. He doesn't know if this is like right before you kill him. No. Should I have?
Okay. I'm just checking. It's my little friend.
Oh no, I haven't seen your little friend.
Okay.
Say hello to my little friend.
Aldrin grabs the amulet like from around his neck and just like rips it right off.
He looks at him, at Aldrin. Are you gonna kill me now?
He holds up the amulet and he says, "What do you think I should do?"
Look, I used to carry his. We used to let him ride on our shoulders. We were slaves and we had to carry his hookah around, and he would ride on it, and it was horrible. It was horrible. But so I was just doing what I had to do. I mean, how many evil halflings do you know?
Aldrin looks at him and says, "That's just pathetic. Yeah, get out of here."
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me live. He looks at the ogre, looks at his buddies.
Again, you're gonna.
He starts running. You say that he's halfway up the ladder already, as fast as his little legs can go. He falls off the ladder once, has to get back up.
Aww.
So now he leaves, and you guys are in this area all by yourselves. The statuary dead cleric is standing there still, covered in ivy. The dead bodies of the ruined halflings are there. The passed out halfling is still on the ground next to the trapdoor.
Is there anything else in this room?
No, not a thing.
Okay.
Yeah. This looks like it was just a causeway to get to the main tunnels.
Okay. Okay.
Aldrin kind of takes a look at the cleric's body to see if there's anything hanging.
Well, you're gonna have to clear away a bunch of the ivy to get there, but you do see his mace right away is extremely high quality. So is his chainmail armor, and he's got in his pouch this. You open up his pouch. There's a bunch of gold, a few gemstones in there, and there's a small figurine of a dog, a black dog. Looks like it's made out of obsidian, onyx. Hard to tell.
Can I sense anything about that little statue?
Aldrin, no. Ghost, no. Ruse. You know what this is. This is what's called a figurine of wondrous power. If you know the enchanted word to it, you can actually make it into a real dog.
Oh, that's cool.
But usually figurines of wondrous power are actually stronger than the normal animal.
Oh, great.
So this is where Aldrin, you need me to roll a percentage dice, and I will roll percentage dice for Ghost and Ruse. Normally, characters wouldn't know this kind of thing, but again, you're bards, and your access to lore means that you actually may know something weird that you really shouldn't.
90?
Nothing for you, Aldrin. You never heard of it. Ghost, you never heard of it. Ruse, this thing is actually of orcish make. You know the word.
Okay.
Yeah, the word is Garalak.
Who's holding it?
Right now, Aldrin's kind of holding it in his fingers, looking at it in the light.
Aldrin, can I take it for a second?
Aldrin just flings it over to you.
Lands right in your palms.
I'll catch it super eagerly.
Okay.
And is it Garalak?
Yeah, Garalak.
Yeah. And
You say Garalak and put it down on the ground real gently, and Aldrin Ghost, you kind of watch this little black dog, all of a sudden it starts expanding. Starts shifting. The stony composition of it becomes flesh. And finally, it's this long... Oh, I can't not do this. It's this long, angular-looking dog made out of black material. It doesn't have any features, really, except for its black eyes. It's almost like made of total shadow. And it looks up at you. It looks at you, Ruse. Starts sniffing your leg a little bit. Finally, it just starts panting a little bit.
And I'll be like, look!
It starts nuzzling up against your leg.
Yeah, so that's what this does.
Aldrin grabs the rest of the stuff, the gold and whatever's left.
You grab all the gold and whatever's left. If you want to take you'd have to take the chainmail off him. I suppose you would leave that there, but you'll take the mace.
Can I wield that?
You can wield the mace, but you couldn't wield the chainmail.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll take the mace.
Okay, take the mace. Got the mace in your hand. Heavy, got real good balance to it. Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. What are you guys going to do now?
Well, I'd like to take a look at this other trap door.
Okay. You start looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay, start looking at it. Looks like it opens up just normal trapdoor, just like the one above it.
Okay, but it wasn't opening for the halfling.
No, that's because the cleric was standing on it when he was entangled. The entanglement was all over it. Yeah, they couldn't force it open because of his weight on top of it.
Okay. We've moved him, though. Aldrin
yeah, you guys just...
right?
Yeah. Knowing Aldrin just kind of looks over and pushes him over, and the thing just kind of falls over.
Okay.
That's an Aldrin-style move.
So I turn to my fellow band members and I say, "Are we going to do this?"
I think we need to.
Yep.
The reputation of the Citadel of Greyhawk is such that with the potent magics and wealth that is inside of there, if a creature like the Falcon could even get in there and get out with a fraction of it, she might be nearly unstoppable. By the time Lester rallies the guards over there, it may be too late. You may be the only chance.
All right. Well, then I'm going to open the trap door slowly, though, just in case there is somebody like behind it.
Ghost, you start opening the trap door, and Ruse's dog goes running over there and stands on the trap door and looks just at you with its dead black eyes. Starts sniffing at the edge of the door.
Can I speak to the dog?
Make me a percentage die roll.
Or you make it for me?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry about that. Yep. Oh, are you going to cast Speak with Animals?
Yes.
Okay. Ghost, you cast Speak with Animals. You look at the dog. What are you going to ask it?
What's wrong? What's going on? Is there something down there?
Bad smell. Bad smell. Bad smell. Hurt smell.
Okay.
Bad smell. Don't want to hurt nice lady. New
A
friend.
nice lady.
New friend. Looks over at Ruse.
Okay, Ruse, we need to tell him that we need his help.
Oh, sure.
Ghost, Aldrin, and Ruse, all of you have thieving abilities, and you suspect that what it's smelling is a trap on the door.
Okay.
Oh, we can use what? Find traps?
Yes, you can. Aldrin, percentage, please. I'll roll for the others.
Okay.
As Amanda just reminded me.
80?
Okay, before Ghost, even before you and Ruse get down there, Aldrin, you see what it is. Right next to the latch, there's a poison needle trap there.
Oh.
Can I disable that?
Yes, you can, Aldrin. Percentage again. This is the great thing about having 3 thieves in the group.
Yeah.
Okay. Aldrin goes down there, pulls out the thieves' tools. You guys watch Aldrin get down on one knee. With the elvish deftness, kind of severs the needle out of there. No problem. It's gone in a moment.
Okay.
Trap
Do I
disarmed.
sense anything else about the area?
Nah, just that weird magical dog that's standing on top of the trap door.
Okay, so I tell the dog that we've taken care of the bad smell. It's gone.
Okay. It walks over back to Ruse's side.
Okay, all right.
I protect the nice lady. My new friend.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue opening.
But you
Trap
good,
door
but
now.
you good boy too.
Oh, thank you.
You good boy too. So you will go, who's opening the trap door?
I am Ghost.
Okay, Ghost opens up the trap door. Another ladder down there. You see a stone entryway, and immediately you get the smell of sewage. The Free City of Greyhawk is possibly best known for its elaborate sewer system that was made by the Lord Mayor Zagig back when it was originally created. This causeway obviously was built to go from the ground to break into the sewer system. This part of the sewer system is cordoned off normally because they want to keep the privacy of the Grand Citadel.
Right.
Part of the plan. So, Ghost, you and Aldrin are there. What are you going to do?
Well, first off, is there any light coming from below?
Okay. Yes,
Or is
there
it
is
dark?
light. It's like a torchlight.
Okay. So we can see some.
Yes, you can. But the best part of it is none of you needs light. All of you have infravision.
Right. So there's nobody down there at first sight.
No, not right away. What you do is
Okay.
you can see at the end of the ladder, there's a corridor that goes ahead about 30 feet, and it breaks off into 2 branches. One goes directly to the east, and one goes to the northwest.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna start down the ladder.
Okay. At this point, when you guys get to the bottom of this, you guys are in a dungeon situation. I need a marching order. What order are you guys going to be standing in?
Well, I kind of think just for intimidation, Ruse should be
At the front? Okay. Ruse, are you all right with that?
I'm cool with that, except just to make sure, how good, like the front person, it might make more sense if it's the best person at finding traps.
You also have thieving abilities. All of your thieving abilities are equal. Go find.
Oh, okay.
So you should be
Cool.
okay as far as that goes, Ruse.
I'm
Okay.
cool with that.
But also, Ruse has one other advantage. As sharp as Aldrin's senses are, a figurine of wondrous power, Dog's senses are even sharper.
Yes.
So Dogo is in front as well.
Yes, Dogo is in front, right with Ruse. The dog will not leave Ruse's side, no matter
Okay.
what.
Aldrin hangs in the back.
Aldrin hangs in the back. Okay. Ghost, you're the only one that can talk to the dog, however, right now, because you're the only one that can't speak with animals.
Right.
Ruse, you have the corridor that goes 30 feet ahead. It breaks immediately to the east, and it breaks to the northwest. Which way are you going to go, east or northwest?
Okay, so do we have a map of this part? Or
No.
do we not have a map of this
No.
part? No.
No, we don't. But
Okay.
what I'm gonna, well, I was just gonna say I could ask Dog to take a whiff.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, Ghost, how are you going to ask the dog?
Which tunnel should we take? Do you smell anything bad?
Start sniffing at the ground. Smell men, smell snakes.
Okay.
Snakes. Big
We want
snakes. Big snakes. Good boy?
Yeah.
Good boy?
You are a good boy.
It starts nuzzling your hand.
So which tunnel though was he pointing to?
His nose was pointing down towards the east tunnel when he said snakes. Towards the northwest when he said men.
Men. Okay.
Now, what you know about this falcon, remember that the
Right.
creature is supposed to be serpentine in nature.
Right. Yeah. So that's, I mean, Ruse, what do you think? That's what I'm leaning towards.
So all right, so you told me what the dog said, right? Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I am gonna say, yeah, we should totally go for the one with the snakes.
Hey, Ruse, by the way, the dog keeps butting its nose up against your hip.
Okay. And I'll give it a pet.
It keeps butting its nose against your hip insistently.
Okay, I'll look down at it.
Yeah, that's where you keep your rations.
I didn't know magic dogs wanted treats. I shall give it a treat.
It looks over back at Ghost. Good boy? Good boy?
Very good boy.
Good boy. And he eats the rations out of her hand. Okay, you guys are going to head to the east then, following the snake smell, right?
Yes.
Okay, Ruse, you go forward 30 feet and break to the east. The corridor then breaks immediately to the southeast, and you follow that the entire way. I assume that you're checking for traps and listening for noise the entire way.
For sure, yeah.
Aldrin, above you all, has the sharpest elvish senses. So, as you guys go, you end up following the corridor until it breaks north again. At the end of the corridor, Aldrin, you notice that immediately to the east, there's a secret door at the end of the corridor. But the corridor naturally breaks down to the northwest. And the dog Ghost is like, snakes, baby snakes, baby snakes.
To the northwest or to the east?
Big snake to the east. Baby snakes that way.
Baby snakes or big snake? Which way is the big snake?
It points its nose at the wall. And Aldrin, that's where you know the secret door is.
Ah.
I communicate that there is a secret door.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, okay, yeah, the dog is saying the big snake is in that direction.
Yeah, the corridor is open. There's no door or anything like that that's going to the northwest where it says baby snakes. Ruse, which way are you going to lead them? Through the secret door or down the hallway to the baby snakes?
So I'll double check. So what are we feeling? Do we want to do the little one or the big one?
That is the question.
At the front of the party, Ruse, you can feel actually from that northwest direction, the air that comes to you is a little hot. It's a little bit warm.
Hot and warm.
Okay. So there might be down here. It's a little hot and warm.
Secret door is barred the way.
Oh, barred the way.
Yeah. So, which way are you going to lead them, Ruse?
Well, if no one objects, I think we should do the big one first. We should just cut to the heart of the matter, get it done directly, and then handle the little stuff later.
Spoken
also,
like a true half-orc.
Yeah. Also, none of us are too bloody right now. I think we can do it.
Ruse?
Might be easier to take care of one than who knows how many baby snakes. A whole lot of baby snakes might be worse than one big snake.
That's true.
Ghost. It says, the dog looks up at you. It says, not ready. The snakes aren't ready yet.
Snakes aren't ready yet.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
The baby snakes aren't ready yet.
Are the baby snakes in eggs?
That's the word. That's the word. Good boy.
Huh. So maybe we should take care of that first. If they're not even hatched. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Ruse?
So we're gonna go in and like crush Naga babies.
We're gonna walk into this like the scene in Aliens.
Yeah.
With the blowtorch.
Yeah.
Eggs.
Okay, Ruse, you're gonna go that way then?
You know what? That is one way to call a really, really pissed off mom to us. And I don't know, how pissed off of a mom do we want to fight?
Well, but it might call her away from the Citadel before she gets whatever's in there that could make her more powerful.
That is a good point. That is a very
Ruse, you're gonna lead them down to the baby snake area?
Let's hit that what is it?
Okay.
Hatchery?
Yeah.
You go northwest down this corridor. And the stone corridor, opens up into a 30-foot diameter circular room. The bottom of the room has been excavated. It's been raised by pickaxes or something, so it's nothing but gravel at the bottom. And laying in it are about 20 eggs, about the size of a halfling's head. They're just sitting there. Looks like the ground underneath it, the rocks are warm. Probably it's probably been enchanted to keep the eggs warm. And that's where the heat that you felt was coming from.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Okay. So this is just an idea. It looks like I have some oil flasks.
Oh, man.
And I have a tinderbox with flint and steel. We could, sprinkle the oil around all over the eggs and leave a path back and then set that on fire.
I like where your head's at.
Aldrin, you got anything for this?
Aldrin's just kind of like, yeah.
Okay. Ghost, is that what you're going to do?
Yes, that's what I'm going to do.
You guys watch Ghost. Sits there, pours the oil all over these eggs. Rolls back a trail. Gonna do it?
Oh yeah, I'm doing it.
Ghost takes her flint and steel, kneels down, strikes it. The oil rushes back in this flaming streak. Instantly, this basin turns into the world's largest barbecue pit. This thing erupts up in flame in the middle. Smoke, black smoke, goes roiling up to the ceiling. This room is going to fill up with smoke real soon. Black smoke.
Okay.
You don't hear babies scream or anything, just roaring fire everywhere.
Okay. I think it's time for us to get out of this room.
You hear crackling,
Yup.
the flames crackling, and somewhere not far away, echoing out through the corridor, you hear a door shatter.
Yup. Yup. Alright, I just need to take my dog out of this room for a sec.
Okay.
And I'll be right back.
Okay, Ruse. we don't want Dodger to see what's about ready to happen. That's not for innocent eyes.
It's very scary. Alright, come on, big guy. Come on.
Okay. So Ruse is standing at the front of the party. Ghost and Aldrin, you guys are going to leave out of this room. Are you going to go back to that three-way where the secret door was?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You heard, as you get closer to the end of the hallway, Aldrin, your senses realize that behind the secret door, if you would have gotten the sound right, the corridor would have gone down about 20 feet and turned right, and somewhere to the left is where that secret door was, where that door shattering was. And then when you hear another one shatter closer, you're like, sure of it. It's coming down that corridor towards you. Whatever's coming, and it's coming fast.
So only Aldrin can hear that, though?
Only Aldrin can hear it right now.
Okay.
Aldrin, what are you going to do?
Well, I tell my party members that,
Okay.
that this thing is fast approaching and it's coming from the direction of the secret door.
As soon as Aldrin is saying this, now everybody hears one shatter. It's closer. Even closer.
I am going to, let's see,
Probably 50 feet away, 40 feet away, maybe?
can I cast fog?
Yeah, you can cast Fog Cloud. Aldrin casts Fog Cloud. Immediately, all around you, the whole area is full of this dense gray fog. Behind you, the whole room is full of black smoke. And it's coming down the hallway, but it stops at the fog cloud because the fog cloud is denser. Aldrin, you probably just saved your party from suffocating. So
Okay.
it doesn't go any farther than that. Aldrin, you guys are all standing in this fog. Nobody can see anything farther than their nose. The secret door, 30 feet away, explodes. It's coming closer. It's faster. Ruse, what are you going to do?
Okay, so we've got fog cloud. I can't see. It's coming. We can hear it coming.
Oh, yeah.
Alright,
Do you remember, since we're talking about Alien, that scene in the movie where they're looking at the guy who's fighting in the air ducts, and they've got those little dots, and it's following each other around?
Yeah,
That's what this is a lot like. You can see the dot almost coming closer and closer.
Oh, God.
Ruse?
Okay, man. Can you ready actions in this?
Yes, you can. What are you going to do?
Okay, I would like to ready an action to hit it with axes.
You start readying back. Your dog gets low to the ground, starts growling. Ghost, what are you going to do?
Nice.
I would like to go ahead and cast Dark Skin on myself.
Okay. Ghost standing in the back. Her skin starts to turn a dark brown. Small little flowers start to sprout out of her flesh. Like a crown, like a tiara of flowers start coming around her hair. Aldrin, last action before. It's closer now. It's about probably 10 feet away.
Crap. I am going to take the potion of Stone Giant Strength.
Oh, I forgot you had that.
Oh, nice.
Aldrin, he pops the bottle. It tastes a little earthy, like a stout almost when you drink it. Instantly, you feel flush with energy, power running through your muscles. You feel like you could throw your dagger through one of these stone walls if you really wanted to right now. Ruse, you're standing at the front of the group. They're coming closer. Coming closer. Finally, the secret door explodes out. Flinders everywhere. It was actually a wooden door behind a thin piece of stone. You guys ever tried to open it, so you really know. The stone explodes outwards. This serpentine shadow coming through the darkness is hissing. It's massive, Sarah. Its head is probably about 5 foot wide. You see eyes glowing through the fog cloud. My children! You hear it hiss out in the midair, snaking around, its tail whipping, smashing the stone walls behind it. What are you going to do?
Well, I did ready an action to hit it.
You did ready an action to hit it.
So let's hit it.
Okay. Ruse comes running at the thing, war cry with both axes. I assume you're using your axes?
Yeah.
Okay. Ruse does that. The dog starts barking like crazy, running alongside of her. Ruse comes forward. You see, all you guys can see is her shadow. The fog is moving all over the place, so nobody can see anything clearly. The Naga can't either, and it launches itself to bite Ruse. It hits the stone wall face first. Ruse slashes at the side of its neck with one axe, draws blood. Hitting it, Ruse, is like hitting iron, like hitting scale mail when you hit the side of it. You hear this horrible, grating, whining sound of the edge of your axe against its armored skin. The other one comes up underneath it, no blood, but the thing howls out in pain. Meanwhile, the dog comes up and tries to bite it. The dog bites at it. You can hear it kind of whimper a little bit. It didn't really do much of anything, but it's trying its best. Ghost, your turn.
Okay. Since I'm a little more delicate than the others, I'd like to pull out my lyre and actually try to play a charm that would, if not put her to sleep, slow her down.
Okay. You start playing your lyre. Hitting up the room it's so weird, guys. It sounds like the apocalypse in here with all this combat and this thing moving, but yet somehow Ghost's lyre, you can hear that the tinkling, the sound of it somehow cuts underneath the undercurrent of it. You can hear it. The thing is still thrashing around wildly. You think if you had a little bit more time, you might be able to do it. Aldrin, your turn.
So it has seen me, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, it sees shadows in the fog. Your fog cloud has made it so it really doesn't see anything clearly. You're at a major advantage because it's so big, it's impossible not to know where it is. You guys are a different story.
Okay. Is it possible for me to, like, attempt to stab it, like, at the base of its skull, like...
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
Make me a 20-sider.
Two.
Okay. Ruse, you're in the darkness, right? You're in the fog. You're hitting it with your axes. The thing is howling in pain over you. Stone debris coming out of the wall, raining on you. The dog's barking at your legs. All of a sudden, Aldrin comes flying out from the fog, hits the thing square in the side, and you're so strong right now that you actually jam the thing, the dagger, into the back of its neck, and you rip right out of your gauntlet because the thing is so armored. It doesn't do it any damage, but because the force of it pushing back up against you was so strong and you're coming down, something had to give it. It actually rips your gauntlet right off of your flesh. It's that armored. Now it's turn. Normally it would be casting spells left and right now, but because you guys have it so enraged, it's going to attack Ms. Ruse.
Let's do it.
Ruse. The thing reaches out and it grabs a hold of your leg. Blood everywhere. Instantly your leg starts to go numb. It hurts so bad. Your pain's shooting all the way from your toes to your hip. The thing is on your leg. It's trying to. You feel it. Its tooth hit a part of your bone. It's trying to lash you back and forth and rip you limb from limb just by shaking you like a dog with a chew toy. Your turn, Ruse.
So I'm in its mouth?
Its mouth is on you. You're standing there. It's trying to lift you up and shake you around.
Okay. All right. So I'm kind of wondering, how does like switching weapons work in this one?
Just have to tell me you want to do it. And if it works realistically, I can let you do it as a free action.
Cool. So I have this flute of blasting.
Oh no! You're gonna go to the flute of blasting?
Yeah. Well.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Ruse, that's a free action for you because you had the flute because the way you described your character, you had the flute right there hanging from your belt, so it's easy just to go to it.
Awesome, and it's like right by my face.
Yep.
So wait, let me like. So if I blow this flute, is it gonna hurt like me and other people, or is it just gonna hurt it?
Well, here's the thing about a horn of blasting.
Yeah.
There's a percentage chance that it can explode every time you use it. If it explodes, it's going to do 5 to 50 damage to everybody in this room. It could possibly kill Ghost right away. It could possibly kill Aldrin right away. And it would probably do more than half of your hit points to you. Now, there's only a 4% chance of that happening. If you wanted to, you could collapse the whole tunnel right now with it. Or you could just hit a blast of sound right at it and damage it. However, remember, this thing just hit the wall. You don't know what the structural integrity of the wall is right now. The blast of sound could take the wall down right with it. There's no telling. But
Right.
This is your big gun for sure.
That is my big gun, but I'm gonna go with axes.
Okay.
Because I don't want in a confined space, it's the thing that could kill my other band members.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You see Ruse, Aldrin, you're close up. You see Ruse look down for a second at the flute. Your eyes get wide as saucers because you know what she's thinking for a second, but then she goes back to the axes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to ask it a question.
I'm gonna ask you the question. Yeah.
Okay. You hit it. There's a 20. Okay. Good choice on the axes. Ruse takes her axes because it's got one on the leg. She takes her axe, puts one of it right down the front of its skull, the other one into her eye from the side. The thing howls, black blood coming all down its face, sprays right across Aldrin's chest. It's the hot blood everywhere. The thing howls in agony. Ghost, as you're playing, you feel something on your leg, on your foot at first, and crawling up your leg.
Is it Birch?
It's Birch. Let me tell you what happened, actually. Birch hid with Lester. Because you told Lester, be safe. If you remember, you used those exact words. Birch said, I'm going to make sure he's safe. So Birch went with Lester and hid on his stuff. Lester went to the Citadel, started warning people. Birch went all the way back through the back way and finally has come up with you.
Oh my gosh.
It's climbing. Birch is climbing up your leg right now. You can feel it as you're playing. Are you going to continue to play?
That's awesome. Okay. Does my playing have any effect at all now?
Not yet, but you think it might be slowing down a little bit if you get just a little while longer.
Okay.
But you don't know how long Ruse is going to last.
Right, and so I have to make a decision. I think I'm going to abandon the playing.
Okay.
And I want to attack. I want to attack with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
But I want to charge it up.
Oh boy, 3 charges?
Yes, please.
Okay, here comes a 20. You abandon the You abandon the lyre. Take the quarterstaff, spin it around once, hit it. As soon as you swing to hit it, you hit nothing but the wall right next to it because it moves and it's shaking the head. You hit it, however, stones spray everywhere across the area.
Okay.
Rose, you feel hit as you're getting shake. You got hit by a rock somewhere. The Naga is howling in pain. Aldrin, your turn.
I am going to attempt to hit it with my mace.
Okay, your new mace. Go ahead and make me a 20.
Five.
Okay. Aldrin swings over. Again, the thing is moving so fast, shaking. Ruse. Hit the ground. Clear miss on it. Its turn now. And it is whipping its tail up as hard as it can at the ceiling while it's got Ruse in its mouth. Ruse has got to continue to take damage as it's shaking. Ruse, you're feeling really sleepy right now. This thing's poisoning you. It's hurting. Your blood is feels like it's on fire. It shakes its tail and hits the ceiling. 20-sider for me, Aldrin.
15.
Stones start pouring down out of the ceiling. It's not worried about a rock slide a bit. It misses a rock. A massive piece of stone just misses you, Aldrin. Hits the ground. Ruse, actually, you get hit hard by a piece of it. Knocks you to the ground. It's now whipping. It's got you off your feet. It's whipping you around. Ghost, it hits you, and actually, your quarterstaff rolls away in the fog.
Okay.
It rolls away on the ground. The fight is going really, really sideways for you guys right now. Ruse is she's in bad shape right now. Ghost, Aldrin. Ghost, as a matter of fact, I take that back. You fail to save. Actually, you think it might have also broken a string on your lyre. And your pick is gone.
Okay.
Ruse, what are you going to do?
All right. So, am I like losing consciousness?
Yeah, you're losing consciousness fast. Your blood is burning. It's bad. It's all bad right now.
Right. Can I have a healing spell? Would that help me?
You do have a healing spell, but it's poison. You'd have to have neutralized poison.
Gotcha. Okay. Am I like am I prone? Am I
Yeah, you're on one knee right now getting shaken by this thing.
Gotcha. Okay, so I can't really back up.
No, and spellcasting, because it's shaking you, is out of the question, too. The only things you could do are one of two things. You could attack it right now with the axes, or you could use the flute.
Ooh. Boosh, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
All right, 4% chance.
All right, yep, here we go, 4% chance. I'm going to let Rachel roll the percentage dice for this. Rachel, roll the percentage dice for us.
Do it! Don't die.
60? No explosion. That's good.
Yes!
Okay, now here's the big question. Are you going to attack it directly, or are you going to try and collapse the tunnel the rest of the way?
I want to attack it directly.
Okay. Aldrin, you see Ruse reach down, pull the flute out. You know what's going on. You immediately cover your ears and put your head down. She's right in its face because it's got her. She takes the flute and plays the highest C note you've ever heard in your life. Both of its eyeballs explode when she hits it. Its head jerks back. It's shaking, just the whole corridor, shaking and shuddering, rocks falling everywhere, dust spraying everywhere. The dog is howling in pain. Everything is just going, it's like the end of the world in this room right now. Both of its eyes just exploded right into your face. The thing spittle everywhere. Its head jerks back and it coils back, letting go of you. Ghost, what are you going to do? You've got a chance.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come at it again with the quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff rolled away. Last
it
round.
did. Oh.
You got your lyre, but you're going to need to find something to play it with.
I'm gonna play it with Birch.
What?
I think he'll let me.
Ghost pulls Birch off her shoulder, pulls it down, and starts playing the lyre with it. I blew the save. Aldrin, you're standing there. Birch she's playing it, and all of a sudden the thing stops moving fast. It's right there in front of you. You have a free shot. You've got Stone Giant strength right now. If you don't put this thing away, it could be the end. It comes down basically to you.
Okay, I'll hit it with the mace.
The mace. Aldrin takes the mace with both hands. 20 for me.
19.
Yes.
Bam! Hits it directly under the chin. It's so strange because Aldrin's only 5 foot tall. Jumps up, hits it underneath the chin with a two-handed mace strike, and the thing looks like it was hit by a catapult. The thing goes flying backwards into the corridor, hits the wall. The ceiling comes flying down, straight down on top of it. Dust, rubble everywhere. The whole corridor is silent except for ghosts playing for a moment. You look and you see the shadow of the falcon in the rubble. The fog cloud starts to dissipate. You see it clearly. Its eyes are just blood is rolling out of ruined sockets out of the corner of its mouth. A huge piece of rock is stuck in one of the eye sockets into its brain, just laying there, motionless. All you hear is the lyre play in the background. Ruse, you're in bad shape. Ruse is dying right now from poison.
I can neutralize poison.
Oh, you've got neutralized poison.
Yes.
Aldrin comes running over to you after the mace blow comes over, lays on the hands on the wound over there. Instantly, you see, like, the hands are over top of the wound, and it's like the fingers are raining black roses down onto the wound. And the wound, you actually see the roses hit the skin, and the tendrils almost become like, the stems almost become like stitches on the
Cool.
thing, and instantly you begin to feel better.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
So, with the combat over, it's not much longer before the guards from the Citadel flood into this place. Lester Finkelberry leading the charge. They're right there. They're right there. My man's right there. They are sifting through the rubble to come and get you guys. You end up going back to the Golden Phoenix Inn, and there a virtual army of clerics is summoned to help you. You guys are heroes of Free City of Greyhawk. Word spreads like wildfire through the community of what happened down there, even though it's supposed to be kept a big secret. Everybody knows that the band that was playing there actually was the ones who saved the day. About a week after your wounds are healed, you guys are all called the Free City of Greyhawk Citadel by the mayor, Lord Mayor. And the Lord Mayor there thanks you personally for your actions. You saved thousands upon thousands of souls, untold amount of people with your actions today. And while we intend on rewarding you monetarily for 5,000 gold orbs each, there's something I think that we can do more for your band. I am hereby requesting a command performance within the Citadel to be held before the nobility and the citizens of the High Quarter. When they hear your music and they have a chance to see you, I think much will come for you in the future. And perhaps much more adventure as well. He smiles. And that's the end of the game, guys.
That was
Nice.
awesome.
Well
That
done.
was
You guys did
super fun.
you guys did a great job. You guys.
That was awesome.
Oh, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Everybody out there in Twitch land, Ruse, Ghost, and Aldrin over there for you. The Sirens of Greyhawk. All of you did such an amazing job using your characters and using what you guys had. I loved Ruse, you're aggressive, the way you did that, and the way you pulled. I forgot about the Flute of Blasting entirely, actually, until you pulled it
Oh,
out.
really?
So that was awesome. I love that you
Nice.
guys beelined your way over to the eggs. That was fantastic.
The fire
Ghost,
thing with the eggs was super good.
Ghost, I couldn't believe you started playing with Birch. That was awesome.
Hey, I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Well, hey.
I thought I rolled 2 fumbles in a row, and I was like, oh, she's screwed now. There's no way. She's out of the combat. And then I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? And Aldrin, you actually, with that potion of Stone Giant Strength, that was really the telling blow over there. Ruse took on the brunt of it and gave you guys a chance to do what you guys do best, and you finished the job. And you saved her life too with the neutralized poison, so that was awesome. And your Elvish Senses came in really handy. I think the move of the game, though, in a way, though, was Ruse, Ghost, and Aldrin, all 3 of you guys, the way you found the figurine and were able to use it with your 3 different skills, because without that, you would have had to gone through the dungeon the long way, and you would have run into about 6 or 7 different phalanxes of soldiery. You were able to
really?
circumvent that the whole way, and it worked out great for you. So,
Good job.
all
Good job
3 of you
searching
guys
that
are
guy.
awesome players, as I knew you would be. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yes, a lot
Yeah,
of
it was
fun.
really good.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm glad. We're going to wrap up for the evening right now. I've had you guys on long enough. It's almost, as I promised, I'd let you go at 11 o'clock, and it's almost 11 o'clock. You guys are a little early because you guys made some really smart moves. So you circumvented all those combats, so that's awesome. Did you like the Sirens of Greyhawk? Did you enjoy playing your characters, the way you guys designed them?
Very much.
Did they turn out
Yes.
like you wanted them?
Mine was
Actually-
like, yeah, you go first.
I was gonna say even better.
Okay, okay. Sarah, did you enjoy
Yeah.
Ruse?
Yeah, it was like everything I thought and more. So it was great.
Okay, Aldrin, did he turn out the way you wanted him to?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's
I
pretty
thought you
much-
had a chance to get all brooding with him and everything. I really wanted to play off the fact that he hates being popular, yet he's super popular.
Mm-hmm.
So, everybody out there in Twitch land, I hope you guys had a really good time. I did. I know I did. If this is an indication of how the rest of the caslHawk Chronicles are going to go, then we are going to have an absolute blast with this miniature campaign. I'd like to thank my players, Sarah Dallinger for Ruse, Mana Makepeace Ghost, Rachel Quinlan, Aldrin. Thanks so much for trusting me with some of your time. And I know it's valuable for you guys as artists. So I'm flattered and I'm honored that you guys you believed in me. So thanks very much. We're going to sign off here from Twitch land, and I'm going to keep you guys on here on the horn for just one more moment so we can say goodbye. But everybody, have a great night, and look for the next episode of the caslHawk Chronicles next month. Good night.
Bye-bye.